Louisiana, Baton Rouge. Today, these two teams will basically battle it out to see who will stay and who will not stay in the race for the Western Division crown.
Well, a huge game this afternoon for both of these ball clubs. It's been a struggle for Southern as of late. They had a big loss to Alcorn last week, so now the loser of this ball game is basically eliminated from the West Championship race. Prairie View has the tiebreaker over Alcorn, so if they win today, they're still alive. The Jags still have an outside shot as well.
For the Prairie View A&M Panthers, they have a big task, and everything is going to rely on Trayvon Conley.
Well, Conley, he is the straw that stirs the drink for this offense. The senior, 6'2", 200 pounds, had a great game last week against Arkansas Pine Bluff. 18 of 29, 305 yards, one touchdown through the air, another on the ground. He is going to have to be dynamic this afternoon. He's best when he gets outside the pocket. He's going to have a big game today.
On the other side of the football, the Southern University Jaguar fans will have to be singing, "I Know It Was the Blood" for me.
Yes, sir, Harold Blood. It's been an up and down season for Harold Blood. 56% completion, over 1,800 yards and 12 touchdowns. But he also has 11 interceptions. It's extremely important today that he protects the football, be patient in the pocket, and use his legs when necessary. If he struggles early today, don't be surprised if Coach Eric Dooley turns to the backup, Noah Biden.
And we are just about ready for the kickoff between these two teams. Prairie View comes into this ball game really and truthfully wanting to do a lot better. They have been one of those teams where you talk to their head coach, Bubba McDowell, they've been inconsistent.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been inconsistent so far this year, but they are right where they want to be this afternoon, where if they win their final two ball games and Alcorn just loses once, then they have an opportunity to get to that elusive SWAC championship game. As you take a look at the weather conditions here this afternoon, overcast, 67 degrees, winds out of the northeast at about 7 miles per hour. So it will be a little misty here this afternoon, but weather should not be a factor.
Well, and here's the thing. It rained in the area last night. There were a lot of high school football games on Friday night, and in this area, there was some rain in the Baton Rouge and New Orleans area. So they are really glad that a lot of that has gone through. Not quite sure that it will stay where it needs to be, but so far it's great.
Yeah, and you get a good look at head coach Bubba McDowell in his second season at Prairie View A&M. Of course, former NFL star with the Houston Oilers, played his college football at the U, Miami. So he is well traveled. We spoke with him this week, and he said his team is very confident that they can go on the road and get a W here this afternoon.
And it all relies on that offense. They've got to make sure that they set the tone here in Baton Rouge. And if you can keep that Southern University offense on the field, control the clock, that's kind of what you want to do here in this ball game. It's one of those things where they've got the running game. They just got to make sure that the Buffet Busters up front do what they need to do.
And you talked about that running game in SWAC play. Prairie View is second in the conference, averaging 165 yards per game on the ground, only trailing Texas Southern, who's way out there at nearly 200 yards per game. As for that Southern defense, they're fifth in the SWAC against the rush, giving up only 114 yards per contest.
Well, there you see the pyrotechnics as the Jaguars making a grand entrance into A.W. Mumford Stadium, getting the fans hyped for this contest. And, look, this is just the biggest game is always the next game. But for these teams, it's because it's the elimination game. One of these two teams will probably be out of the race.
Right, absolutely. And for Southern, they're coming off a big loss last week. They went to Alcorn in a battle for first place. The Braves won that game 45-13 last week. So Southern comes in licking their wounds here this afternoon. A must-win in front of their home crowd here at A.W. Mumford Stadium. As for Prairie View, they had a big homecoming victory last week against Pine Bluff, 38-14. Both of these teams 4-2 in conference play.
Let's take a look at the impact players for today's ball game, presented by GM, proud supporters of the SWAC.
Well, Jamarius Brooks on the yard, they call him Chunky. Last week he had 14 carries for 84 yards against Pine Bluff. And on the defensive side for PV, Keyshawn Johnson is the key. He leads the team with 5 sacks and 76 tackles on the season. As for Southern, it's all about Beats and Ryans. Kendrick Ryans averaging 6 yards per carry, 6 touchdowns on the year. And on the back end of that defense in the secondary, Jordan Carter, 3 interceptions on the season. He also has 2 fumble recoveries. He's a ball hawk on the back end of that Jaguar defense.
Well, I tell you what, there are 2 electric Keyshawn Johnsons in this conference. You got one who's a receiver for Alabama State. You got one who's a great defender, of course, for Prairie View A&M.
Well, you know, and I'm sure the aforementioned Keyshawn Johnson that used to play with the New York Jets and USC. You know, a lot of parents name their kids Keyshawn after give me the damn ball, Keyshawn Johnson. So a lot of Keyshawn Johnsons running around this conference here this season.
Well, of course, this is a great day for football here. It's senior day. A lot of parents are out here. And, you know, look, when you speak to the parents about their kids who are going to be here in the stadium for the last time, and you talk to the coaches, both of them say, you know, look, this is a big moment. Parents are proud to be here. The coaches are proud of these student athletes as well. The biggest thing the coach is telling us, Coach Dooley, is don't let the moment overwhelm you. It is a big moment. It is your last time that you will be a student athlete on this field, but don't let the moment overwhelm you.
Yeah, especially for these seniors. You know, a lot of these guys may not go on to play at the next level, so this may be their last game of organized football in their home stadium, and so the impact of that can sometimes be overwhelming. You try to do too much, so you want to just stay within yourself, stay in the moment, and make sure that you go out and perform to the best of your ability.
When you were a student athlete, do you remember your senior day?
I do remember my senior day. It was very impactful. I remember my mom and my brother being in the stands for that ball game, and it was one of those moments at the end you realize the finality, because my senior game was my last game. You know, I didn't have another road game after that. So you realize the finality of the situation. And, you know, it's a little bit different in football than it is in basketball and baseball. You can go on and still play rec league basketball or softball if you're a baseball player. There's no intramural football. This is it.
And the opening kick comes down to Southern, and they will return the ball out to about the 26-yard line, and it'll be first down and 10 at that moment. Southern University, of course, now starting things out here on offense. Harold Blood will come in. Of course, Blood is that guy that if you want this offense to move, he's going to have to help move it. He's got a great running game behind him, but I think it's just going to depend on him just taking his time and letting the game come to him.
Yeah, and you look at the ball game he had last week against Alcorn. He really struggled in that ball game, as did the entire offense. 194 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. They have to eliminate the turnovers here this afternoon.
Quick pass and a great defensive play by Prairie View A&M. And the quick pass for Southern University. Going out to August Petrie, the wide receiver from Opelousas, Louisiana. He transferred from Rice in Houston, Texas. Give up the middle, and boy, the Prairie View A&M Panthers not allowing any real forward movement to start this ball game off, maybe back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, this is a Southern offense on the season. They average 3.5 yards per carry. Total offense, 329 yards per game. They really have to do a good job on first and second down to eliminate these third and long situations. This is where the offense struggles in third and long.
Blood now looking. Gets it in the seam. That's Austin Petrie once again. And that's right at the first down marker. First down for the Jags.
Good conversion on third down on the opening drive. You want to stack first downs if you're the Jaguars. Keep the offense on the field. You don't want any quick 3 and outs.
Blood giving the ball to the running back, and he will get across the line of scrimmage. And taking control of the football is Kobe Dillon, the transfer from transfer here in this ball game. And Dillon, of course, one of those key components as far as in the running game. Blood, second down. Gets it to his wide receiver, Austin Petrie, with another big catch, and he gets near the midfield stripe.
So you see early on a clear effort to get the ball to August Pete. 3 receptions already here on the opening drive, taking advantage of soft coverage by the Prairie View defense.
Once again, Blood trying to hold that Prairie View A&M defense, and at the last minute he gives the ball to his running back, Kobe Dillon. Brings up second down. Get some positive yardage. That's all you can ask for when you're talking about first down.
Yeah, absolutely. Good first down play. Sets up 2nd and 7.
Blood going deep down the sideline, and it is incomplete. It looks like the intended receiver for Southern University was Corey Washington. Taking a look at the keys of the game, presented by GM.
Well, for the Jaguars, they want to control the clock like they're doing here on this opening possession. Keep their defense off the field. They also have to protect the route. No turnovers in this ball game. And on defense, they have to contain the dynamic quarterback of Prairie View, Conley.
Once again, 4 receivers for Southern, and this time, Blood is in trouble, and the Prairie View defense swarms the quarterback, and he goes down. For the Prairie View A&M Panthers, Derek Ray Jr., the defensive tackle from Richmond, Texas, transferred from Texas State with the sack.
Yeah, you see him just coming over the right side, beating the right tackle that time to get in the backfield on Blood, and that's going to force a 4th down punting situation for Southern.
Bryce Jenkins Jr. on to return. He is the graduate student from Daytona Beach, transferred from Alabama A&M, the son of Brian Jenkins, the former head coach at Bethune-Cookman. And this punt rolls and goes inside the 5-yard line. And Prairie View is in trouble to start this series. They are deep inside their own territory. 11:36 remaining here in this first quarter. There's no score from here in Baton Rouge. Swag Football on ESPN is presented by Pepsi, official partner of the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and by GM, proud sponsor of the Swag. First down and 10 for Prairie View, and they get a big run here on first down. Out of bounds at about the 17-yard line, and for the Panthers, that is exactly how you need to start the ball game out offensively.
Well, a good job getting out the back of their own end zone on that first play after that great punt by Southern, pinned them inside the 5. Excellent job on first down, picking up 14 yards.
Ahmad Antoine ran the ball first, and now Trayvon Conley takes off with the football. He had just over 40 yards and a touchdown on the ground last week.
Yeah, Conley, a definite dual threat, 110 yards rushing on the season. If he can pull it down with his legs, they want to put a lot of pressure on this Jaguar defense. Of course, they have those bookends on the outside in Kelby Givens as well as Taj Brown. And they want to keep those guys on their toes here this afternoon.
Trajan Spiller and Brian Jenkins Jr. bottom of your screen. Here is the give to Ahmad Antoine on second down.
Antoine on the season averaging nearly 5 yards per carry, 403 yards on the year.
Here are the keys of the game for Prairie View, presented by GM.
When talking to Coach Bubba McDowell, on defense, they have to be able to tackle in space. They did a bad job of that last week against Pine Bluff. They have to be tough up front in the trenches, particularly the offensive line. And on defense, they have to put heat on Blood.
And, of course, Blood taking off on first down, or Conley, I should say. And Conley is one of those guys that you have to pay attention to. You almost want to have a spy on him because he is so talented.
Yeah, absolutely. 6'2", 200 pounds, has really good speed if he gets to the second level, but also has a good arm as well, so he can kill you both ways.
Brian Jenkins Jr. in motion now to the top of your screen. Here is the give to the running back, Ahmad Antoine. Right now, you're seeing a little bit of everything here for Prairie View A&M. Antoine getting quite a few of the carries. Great job by the Buffet Busters up front.
Yeah, good job by that interior of that offensive line. Doing a great job so far in this ball game. Back-to-back first downs picked up by Prairie View.
They're just taking their time here early on in this ball game. Conley back, will toss it deep. Looking for the open man, complete. Touchdown, Prairie View A&M. Conley to the wide receiver, Shamar Savage from Lompoc, California, gets the big score.
Well, great job, first of all, by this offensive line. Look at the time in the pocket that Conley has, and he just rears back and lets it go as far as he can throw it. And Savage with the big strike catch over the top of the Jaguar defense. And just like that, Prairie View strikes first on the road.
Big play by the offense. And now the extra point opportunity coming up for the Panthers. Carlos Villagomez, the redshirt freshman, with the extra point. And the Panthers strike first here in the capital city. 7-0 our score.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels. Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself paid. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
Doritos created Solid Black in 2021 to help fuel the initiatives of black leaders seeking to drive real change. And this year, Doritos Solid Black is welcoming 16 new change makers to the program. We are Solid Black.
Huge play coming up.
Talking about dropping the ball.
I got the score.
Tostitos Hardy Dippers.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels. Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself paid. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
In 1920, an athletic league was formed and slowly became one of the leading sports associations in the world of collegiate athletics, Southwestern Athletic Conference. Today, the SWAC is looking towards the next century, growing, supporting, and transforming our intercollegiate sports activities for student athletes and promoting academic excellence. Each SWAC member institution represents a high level of integrity and sportsmanship. We are the SWAC, building champions for life.
Southern University giving up a touchdown, 7-0 Prairie View on top. There's the head coach of the Southern University Jaguars, Eric Dooley, second season as the head coach. And boy, I tell you what, Coach Dooley, he tells you all the time, look, we have got to put together two halves of a ball game.
Yeah, absolutely. And starting off sluggish once again here in the opening quarter this afternoon. That was a 97-yard drive. Took 2 minutes, 43 seconds off the clock. Conley to Savage for the 55-yard strike. Second touchdown reception of the season for Shamar Savage. 8th touchdown pass for Trayvon Conley.
There you see the offense getting ready to come back onto the field for Southern University. Gary Qualls will return. Of course, he is the transfer from Alabama A&M, also serves as a running back on this offensive team. And see a couple of different Alabama A&M transfers in this ball game. Gary Qualls for Southern University, and on the other side, Brian Jenkins Jr. for Prairie View A&M.
Yeah, a lot of transfers. Of course, that transfer portal is hot and heavy now in all levels of college football, and both of these ball clubs taking advantage of that portal to strengthen their ball clubs. And Prairie View with the early lead here this afternoon. Jaguars want to see if they can respond.
Well, if you're the Jaguars, you want to make sure you control the football here as we get ready for the kickoff for Prairie View A&M. Russell and Qualls back deep. He goes, looks like to Russell. And he gets out to about the 20-yard line where he is tackled there. It's going to be Morris action.
All right, with this Jaguar offense, they were able to pick up a couple of first downs on their first drive, and now we have our first penalty flag of the afternoon. Comes in late after the play.
This came after people were running off the field.
After the play, go. Unfortunately, time to, on the kicking team, number 5.
You're a jet.
Not sure if he said 55, which would have been Jaheim O'Hara for Prairie View, but this is going to move the football all the way out to the 36-yard line now and give the Jaguars pretty good field position.
Definitely not what Prairie View wanted to do, give Southern University great field position. They'll start with 4 receivers and send Washington in motion. Blood is in a little bit of trouble, running for his life, and he's tackled right at the line of scrimmage. Boy, he was just surrounded by Panthers.
It was an inside zone read that time. Harold Blood decided to keep the football. Maybe not the best of decisions. You see the defensive end crashing down, so he pulls it. But then, as you mentioned, a host of Panthers gobble him up at the line of scrimmage.
And once again, another big play for Prairie View A&M. Derek Ray Jr. gets the sack. Here's Blood, back to pass. It's complete, out to the 45-yard line, and it'll be down at about the 49-yard line. Howard on the catch for the Jaguars. First catch for him of the afternoon.
Well, good job by Howard. Prairie View was in man-to-man defense that time, and an excellent route. The cornerback at the top of the screen slips and falls, makes it an easy completion from Blood to Howard.
Blood will get the pass out, and they get back to about the 49-yard line. On the catch for Southern University, Kendrick Rhymes.
Rhymes had a quiet game last week against Alcorn. On the season, you see his numbers, 487 yards on the ground, 6 touchdowns. He's also a threat in the passing game. That was his 23rd reception of the year.
Blood hit as he lets the ball go. Pass is incomplete, no flags on the play. And that will bring up third down.
Well, But Coach Bubba McDowell talked to us this week and said, we want to get pressure on their quarterback, force him to make some quick decisions, blood under heat. He just throws this one up into double coverage. Luckily, it was not intercepted.
Washington was the intended receiver. 10 catches on the season for 152 yards. That's something that Southern does have. They have an array of wide receivers. 4 receivers now for the Jaguars. Washington in motion to the bottom of the screen. Now here comes Blood. Blood lets this one fly, and it is incomplete. A flag on the play. That's going to be pass interference. Pass was intended for Jalen Howard, and there's a Prairie View A&M football player shaking up a little bit. I believe that's Freddie Bird III.
Yeah, Blood under pressure. Kind of looked like the receiver came back and held, and then he pushes the defender in the head. So I see why his teammate was upset. Luckily, not a personal foul against Jalen Howard, who after the play, and the officials may be talking about this to see who the penalty is going to be against.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Howard had his arm around the defender.
Defensive pass interference. Defense, number 6. Those penalties are offset. After the play is over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 82. That penalty will be enforced. First down.
So Austin Peach, Howard rather. Jalen Howard was assessed that personal foul after the play, offsetting penalties with the illegal chop block, and then, of course, the pass interference. But that last penalty that Howard had will be enforced and will back Southern University up back into their own territory just on the other side of midfield.
Yeah, so you had the chop block on Kendrick Rhymes on the offense, and then you had the defensive pass interference penalty, as you mentioned. And then for some reason, Jalen Howard just got up and pushed the defender in the head, and that's going to cost Southern 15 yards. And look, last week against Alcorn, they had some personal foul penalties in that ball game, and this is something that the Jaguars cannot afford to have. So now this is going to make a 3rd and 24 coming up for the Jaguars. They have to get all the way to the 42-yard line of Prairie View to pick up this first down.
They have a lot of real estate to cover in order to get that first down. 4 receivers to start things out here in this drive. Blood will hand the football off, and once again, Prairie View A&M just all over the run game.
Well, they were looking for that draw play to Kendrick Rhymes, and they were not fooled at all. Good job by that defensive front of Prairie View staying at home, and it's going to be 4th down now for Southern. And again, the Jaguars digging themselves an early hole.
We were talking about penalties and how they can hurt this football team on the year. Southern University averages about 79 yards in penalties a ball game. Brian Jenkins Jr. back to receive now for Prairie View A&M. That was a costly penalty because look where they're punting from now, inside the 20. A good punt. And Prairie View A&M will take over here with 5:54 remaining in this first quarter of play. Panthers up on Southern. 7-0 is our score. Prairie View A&M on top of Southern. And there you see one of the Southern University Queens, who is, of course, a member of the Army, also has the crown on. And this is Veterans Day weekend. You see different branches of the service represented here at the stadium today. Conley takes off with the football for Prairie View here on first down, gets out to about the 35-yard line, and the Panthers picking up right where they left off.
Yeah, and you see how dangerous Conley can be with his legs. Just an extension of the running game, gives the defense something else to think about so you don't have the opportunity to key on these running backs for Prairie View who are dynamic in their own right, but you have to keep an eye on number 14.
Look at that matchup at the bottom of your screen. Trajan Spiller is the wide receiver, and here is the throw, and he went right for Spiller. They were trying to go after him here on offense. Dimitri Morsel, the strong or the corner in that situation, was right there on Spiller. That's going to be a matchup to watch.
Yeah, good one-on-one move by Spiller. He had a step on the defender. Conley just overshot him by about a yard. You saw the safety coming over as well to provide some help over the top.
And you'll see that matchup big once again. And now another big receiver coming out there for Prairie View A&M, and that's going to be Brian Jenkins Jr. So Spiller and Jr. to the bottom of your screen. Empty backfield now for this Prairie View A&M offense.
And you see press coverage across the board, particularly at the top for the Jaguar secondary.
And there will be a timeout called here. Looks like it will be called by Prairie View. We'll double check this here. It's going to be a delay game. In order to avoid the delay game, the timeout by Prairie View. Guess they didn't like something that they saw in the offensive package. They call that timeout.
Well, Southern challenging them on the outside. Not dissuaded by the early 55-yard strike over the top. They said, we're going to have to play these guys man-to-man on the outside and may the best man win. You see Jalen Campbell, one of the leaders of that Jaguar defense. He's the leader. He is the leading tackler on that defense. Second leading tackler, I should say, 55 tackles on the season, 3.5 sacks. Number 56, Jalen Campbell.
And something that the front line for Southern University will have to make certain that they do is to make sure that they don't allow those guys on offense to get inside them on those blocks. Brian Jenkins Jr. in motion now for Prairie View. And Conley will take off with the football once again. Conley dives forward, not exactly a poetic slide, but he gets to about the midfield stripe.
Again, Conley recognizing man-to-man defense across the board. That means he's going to have an open lane. You see the linebackers vacate to take on the slot guys, and that leaves a wide open green grass in front of Conley. It was 3rd and short. He picks up a big gain up to the 49. The chains continue to move for this PV offense.
And those buffet busters up front are just absolutely dominating so far. Here is the give. This time Southern University's defense, great job in coverage. Ahmad Antoine, the senior, able to get maybe, I think he lost the yard on the play.
Put it back to the original line of scrimmage, but as you mentioned, that time, Jaguar defense got some penetration into the backfield. David Cotton, 94, the defensive tackle in the backfield as well to help slow down the running game. Antoine making it a 2nd down.
And you notice that run game opening up that pass game. Here's Conley, back to pass, takes off with the football, and he's hit from behind. Ball comes loose. It gets into the hands of the Southern University defense, and the Jaguars will take over. 1st down and 10. Derek Williams gets the big recovery for Southern University.
Well, watch Conley under pressure, steps up in the pocket, doesn't secure the football, and then boom, punched out from the back, and then right into the hands of the awaiting Williams, and a big turnover for this Southern Jaguar defense.
And with the big hit was Jordan Monroe, the defensive end from Ocala, Florida. He got the hit, stripped the ball away, and now the Jaguars are in business. The defense giving it to the offense in Prairie View A&M territory. New quarterback in the ball game for Southern University. The handoff gets out to about the 35-yard line. Noah Bodden is the quarterback now in the ball game for the Jaguars.
Well, we talked about in the open, if Harold Blood struggles, Coach Eric Dooley was not going to waste any time. He knows how big this football game is. The loser is out of the West championship hunt. So with his team trailing by 7, they get the big turnover, get the short field. They'll see what the backup quarterback can do.
They'll go to a 3-receiver set here. And they're looking over at the sideline to get the play. As it's first down at the 35. Here is the give straight ahead. A lot of banging going on the inside. And that will bring up second down. Kendrick Grimes on the carry for Southern.
They have to find a way to get Kendrick Grimes out in space. He's been a non-factor the last 2 weeks. Teams have really spied on him to keep him from gaining those big plays, but Coach Eric Dooley, he's going to have to dial up something to get that kid in the open field.
And here's the thing, he averages 6 yards a carry. As here is the give. Just talked about Kendrick Grimes, and he gets the carry out to about the 25-yard line. Averages 6 yards a carry. He's got 6 touchdowns this year. If he gets into the open space, it's going to be hard to catch this guy.
Yeah, 6 foot, 185 pounds, sophomore out of Houston Heights High School, has great speed. And as we mentioned, he is a tremendous player. If he can get to that second level, you're not going to get him.
Grimes looks at the sideline and kind of stomped his foot there in a little bit of a disgust. Man in motion now, and that's Corey Washington. Bott gets it out to Kendrick Grimes. Grimes inside the 20, gets inside the 15, and another first down for Southern University. Well, you spoke about getting Kendrick Grimes going in the offense. There you go.
And look, they're doing creative ways to get him in space. You see the quarterback roll out to the right, a little throwback to the left. Big 92, no chance to bring him down. Gets to the second level. Now you're looking at first down inside the red zone for this Jaguar offense.
And that is something that once you start getting those kinds of mismatches with a defensive lineman and a running back, that always goes to the offense. Here's the give once again. Kendrick Grimes getting across the 10-yard line down to about the 6. A great tackle by Prairie View. Good duo, tandem of tackles. It's going to be Tariq Bullmore on the tackle, along with Warren Schenkel, the linebacker, junior from Houston. Here's a give to Kendrick Grimes, and Grimes will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Jaguars. Boy, he had really started to assert himself in this drive, and he caps it off with a score.
And that's what they have to do. Great job by that offensive line. Excellent play calling by Coach Eric Dooley, as we talked about, getting creative ways to get Grimes involved, and the left side of that offensive line for Southern doing an excellent job, and Grimes extending the football over the goal line, and the patented home run swing in the end zone as the Jaguars look to tie this football game up.
Grimes with a 7-yard touchdown run. With under a minute remaining here in this first quarter of play. Joshua Griffin, the junior from Vicksburg, with the extra point try, and flags are all over the place. Prairie View players pointing at Southern. And they sort this out here. Two of the hardest jobs in football, not even on the football field. It's the head coach and the officials.
Well, I thought you were going to say the play-by-play guy and the color commentator.
Our job is easy. It is going to be offsides against Prairie View, and the extra point try is good. So we are tied at 7 here in Baton Rouge. Well, I tell you, Ken, that is exactly what the doctor ordered. If you are Southern University and the offense, it gives them that confidence that they need in order to get to that next drive.
Well, yeah, and the big fumble recovery by Derek Williams after the sack on Conley causes the fumble, because all the momentum was on the side of Prairie View A&M. But now Southern, they take advantage of the turnover. Nice 47-yard drive, gets into the red zone, continues to feed Kendrick Grimes. And again, as we mentioned, the left side of that offensive line is where they like to operate, behind big number 78, Eli Fields, and big Travion Newsom. Newsom, a redshirt freshman out of Houston. Fields, a redshirt junior out of Linden, New Jersey. And both of those guys do a great job opening up that running lane for Rhymes.
Someone just tweeted or on X, and they asked the question, what were those green, gold, and black flags that were going by here at Southern? Those are not either one of those teams' colors, and I'll tell you who they are. Those are the flags for Southern Lab High School, which is just across the street here from A.W. Mumford Stadium. They have their own lab school right on campus. They're in the playoffs, as a matter of fact, in the high school football playoffs. Got a first-round bye. So, yes, the Southern University Lab School, you see those flags going by, and that's what it said by S in the lab. That's for Southern University Lab School. Here is the kickoff, and it comes down to Prairie View inside the 5. Nice block, gets to the 20 and the 25-yard line. And still on his feet is Brian Jenkins Jr. He was not down. Jenkins still on his feet. And he gets to about the 45-yard line. What a run and a great special teams play by Prairie View A&M.
Great job by Jenkins with the second effort. I believe the Jaguars thought he was down. You see him in the middle of a host of Jaguars, stays on his feet, and then gets to the second level, all the way down into Southern territory, and he's going to be down near the 35. I think they're going to spot it, yes, exactly at the 35-yard line of Southern. So after the Jaguars get the touchdown, the Panthers come back with great field position.
Those are the kinds of special teams play that can really set up the offense nicely. And here is the give on first down, gain of about a yard on the play. We always talk about those 3 phases of the ball game: offense, defense, and special teams. That's where special teams really set you up nicely.
Yeah, and Coach McDowell talked about how his special teams had to continue to improve, and he has to like what he saw on that kickoff.
There you saw big number 71, Kobe Lewis, who is the center. 6'3", 330. He's a biscuit away from 350 if I've ever seen it. He is a big boy and can move some people. Second down, getting it out to about the 30-yard line. And there's a little bit of extracurricular activity after the play, just sharing pleasantries to see how each other is doing. And we will take a timeout here. End of the first quarter. We're tied at 7 here in Baton Rouge. Tied at 7 between the Panthers and the Jaguars. Battle of the Big Cats here in Baton Rouge. And for the Panthers, they have the ball at the 30-yard line. They are trying to put another score up on the board.
Big third down coming up here for PV.
See a lot of adjusting going on that line. Pass is incomplete. Good defense by Southern University.
Now it's decision time for Coach Bubba McDowell. Do you go for it here on fourth down, or do you try a long field goal?
Chris Simmons was the intended receiver for the Panthers, and they're going to go for the long field goal. This is going to be 47 yards.
Yes, sir.
47-yard field goal attempt here. Carlos Villagomez. Here is the long field goal attempt, and it is no good. It is short, and Southern University dodges a bullet, and they are able to get the ball back. Conley, of course, on the headsets right now talking to the coaches upstairs, but if you're Southern, you got to feel good because you hold Prairie View scoreless on what was a very good opportunity for them to score.
Yeah, they got the great kick return down to the 35-yard line. Excellent field position. The defense does a great job, stops them on third down, forced a long field goal attempt. They came up short. So now the Jaguars take over the football in good field position, their own 30-yard line, with an opportunity to take the lead.
Head Coach Bubba McDowell talking about when he speaks with his student athletes, if they want to get to the next level, what is really demanded of them. And does not hold any punches. He really gives them the real story about what it takes to not only get in, but then stay in professional football. Noah Bod with the pass, and it is complete. Southern University with a big play to start this drive out. Cassius Allen on the catch. And Noah Bodden giving a little bit of shot in the arm to this Southern University offense.
That's the second time in this ball game we've seen a Prairie View defender slip and fall in coverage. And again, an easy throw for Bodden as he's given some life to this offense.
Another catch, this one inside the 30-yard line. And that'll bring up, looks like it'll be second down.
Noah Bodden on the season in 4 games, only 5 of 12 for 58 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. And he's done a good job here taking over for Harold Blood in the first half.
Here is the give. Prairie View A&M doing a great job coming down the line, not allowing any forward progress to happen. And that will bring up third down.
Great job setting the edge by that Prairie View defense, forcing Southern all the way to the sideline. And you see the officials trying to get both teams back to their respective sides of the line of scrimmage as tempers continue to boil over here in this rivalry game. A lot on the line this afternoon. As we talked about, the loser of this ball game will be done as far as playoff contention or SWAC championship contention.
Now I'm trying to see, is there someone hurt on the sideline? It looks like someone may be down.
Yeah, it looks like a Panther is down on the Southern sideline. We can't see the number. You see Coach Bubba McDowell coming over to check on his player.
And I'm not sure if this was...
Looks like Ahmad Robinson, the cornerback.
Well, that is a big loss for Prairie View A&M University. Ahmad Robinson is really a key on this Panther defense. And he makes a slow walk back to the other side, and he has helped him. Boy, for Ahmad Robinson, that could be a big loss for this Prairie View A&M team.
Well, anytime you lose a starter, 6 foot, 180-pound sophomore, and they'll have to come in, and it appears with Travis Pearson, who is a redshirt sophomore, as his replacement. And we'll see if Noah Bodden and Coach Eric Dooley try to take advantage as he really appears to be shaken up. And is he has to have some assistance headed all the way back over to the Prairie View bench.
Ahmad Robinson from St. Louis, Missouri, just a sophomore, and as they tend to him on the field, back to live action. Now, Prairie View, got to watch Kendrick Rhymes. He is in the backfield along with Noah Bodden, 4 receivers set. Here comes a blitz from Prairie View, and Bodden just has to try to sidearm this ball as the Panthers were coming all out on that blitz.
Again, Bubba McDowell, he's going to send pressure. This is an old school defensive coach, and he's going to send pressure after whoever is at quarterback. When you get in these third down situations, watch the pressure. You see the blitz coming from the front side, and a good job getting his hands up, tipping the football away. And now it'll be a field goal opportunity here for the Jaguars, and they have one of the best in the business in Joshua Griffin.
Javen Jackson tipping the ball and putting the pressure on Noah Bodden. And now a 45-yard field goal attempt. The kick is up. And it is no good. So both teams coming up empty on their last 2 possessions in the field goal kicking area. And now the Panthers will come back as we go to break here in Baton Rouge. We are all knotted up at 7 here in the second quarter.
When you join the HBCU family, you become part of the tradition of breaking barriers in your community, breaking ground in your career, and bringing it with everything you do. From how you look to how you move in the classroom, on the court, and on the field. That's why Academy Sports and Outdoors is proud to celebrate the HBCU legacy and all those to add to it in their own way.
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
The future starts today. With 34 undergraduate programs and 22 graduate programs, finding your career path is within your reach at Southern University and A&M College. The best way to a successful future is to invest in it through an affordable education at Southern University. Southern University is growing in order to lead you to a bright future. Start your future here at Southern University and A&M College.
In 1920, an athletic league was formed and slowly became one of the leading sports associations in the world of collegiate athletics, Southwestern Athletic Conference. Today, the SWAC is looking towards the next century, growing, supporting, and transforming our intercollegiate sports activities for student athletes and promoting academic excellence. Each SWAC member institution represents a high level of integrity and sportsmanship. We are the SWAC, building champions for life.
Tied at 7 here in Baton Rouge as you see the Southern University cheerleaders and mascot entertaining the crowd here at A.W. Mumford Stadium. Always a great place. And, man, you talk about some great food around this stadium. Man, you come in here and get full and you almost get sleepy.
Oh, man, I mean, look, you can get whatever you want in Baton Rouge. If you're looking for some Cajun food, the Creole, or if you want some old-fashioned barbecue, you can get it all in Baton Rouge, especially near the southern campus.
Ooh, I feel a spirit coming on. I'm hungry.
Almost halftime, brother. Almost halftime.
Prairie View A&M now with a second down and 9.5.
Colin with the one-bit completion, the 55-yard touchdown strike to Savage.
The give gets across the 30-yard line, the 35-yard line, and the tush push takes Prairie View all the way to almost the 40-yard line. And Ahmad Antoine with the carry. He is a durable runner.
Another big third down coming up now for the Panthers. As offense has struggled a little bit the last couple of possessions. They had the 97-yard drive on their opening possession of the ball game, but since then, Conley's fumbled, and then they had a missed field goal.
It is a first down. Antoine gets that first down. Here is the catch. Out to the midfield stripe and out of bounds. Another first down for Prairie View A&M University. Chris Simmons on the catch from Zachary, Louisiana.
See the quick release by Conley. Just a little crossing pattern. Little man beater. Best route against the man coverage.
And now guess who keeps the football? Conley gets down to the 35.
Once Conley gets to that second level and he sees those defenders start to converge on him, he's going to slide and get to the turf. And there's another Prairie View Panther down, and this is one of their big offensive linemen, number 78.
Yeah, it's going to be Jalen Cooper, who's actually is listed as the backup left tackle, 6'4", 275-pound freshman. Second injury today, and there you see offensive line coach Ashton Green coming out to look at him. He was a pretty good offensive lineman himself in his days at Grambling State University.
This would be a huge loss for Prairie View on this offensive line. We've already seen their cornerback go down on the previous series on defense.
Boy, when you see one of those buffet busters go down, and he's already the backup left tackle, that really changes the dynamics of your run game, your blocking schemes, all of that. Coaches always say next man up, and that's, I think it's easier said than done in a lot of cases. Going to take a timeout here while they attend to the injured Panther on the field here in Baton Rouge. Jalen Cooper is now in the medical tent on the Prairie View A&M sideline. And it will be second down and short here for the Panthers. And you see trips formation top of your screen. And the keeper by the quarterback, Trayvon Connolly. Monroe with the tackle on the play.
Yeah, good job by Monroe. Again, Connolly reading the defensive end. The D-end crashes down, so that's his key to keep the football. But a great job by the linebacker Monroe coming up from the second level to stop him for a short gain. And that's going to be third down and short once again for Prairie View so far this afternoon. 123 total yards for the Panthers.
Conley gets it out to his receiver, out to about the 30-yard line. So at left tackle right now for Prairie View A&M is the big sophomore Stephen Thomas.
All right, on the previous play, they did give Prairie View enough yardage for the first down, so that was a first down pass play to Jenkins. Nice yardage after the carry. He picks up about 6 on the reception. So Prairie View once again moving methodically down the field, and they'll have to adapt to the backup tackle being in now for Cooper.
Thomas is a big old boy, so size is not an issue. Run gets across the 25 down to about the 20-yard line.
And something you mentioned in the break, Santori, about watch the Southern defense just kind of freeze at the line of attack, not knowing exactly where the football is going. You saw the inside linebacker go outside, and that opened up the running lane inside for Prairie View to pick up another nice gain and another first down.
Jamarius Chunky Brooks with the carry. You said that his nickname is Chunky. Nowhere to go, and Brooks is tackled. Gibbons on the tackle. When he has been a huge factor for this Southern University defense.
Well, Gibbons is one of the leaders of this defense for the Jaguars. Always an impactful player. 14 tackles for loss on the season. That was number 15.
Conley looking, caught inside the 10-yard line, and they're going to say that he is down at about the 10-yard line. Shamar Savage, who already has a big catch in the ball game here today.
See where the officials spot the football. But again, you see Conley crossing route once again, just sits down. You see that knee down, that left knee on the turf. So it's going to be just short of the line to gain. Looks like it's going to be second down and a couple for Prairie View. Or third down, actually.
And looks like a timeout now on the field. We'll take a look, and this is why he was called down after the catch.
You see Conley drop back, and you see him just settle down, and right there, that left knee. And the play is dead at that point.
Well, I tell you what, the Southern Jaguar defensive line, they have got their work cut out for them. When you take a look at some of these guys across the line, you know, Jalen Cooper, who was hurt, he's 6'4", 275. Alan Jones, who's normally the starting left tackle, 6'6", 360. Then you got Chance Jones, 6'2", 310. Kobe Lewis, 6'3", 330, allegedly. Arrington Taylor on the right side, 6'5", 340. And Eric Dunn, 6'7", 285.
Well, that's what all that etouffee and gumbo and
I'm trying to tell you,
good old shrimp Creole cooking will do to you.
Well, look,
it's gotten Zion Williamson in a lot of problems down there in Louisiana.
And they've got some pretty good guys backing up these buffet busters. And on the right side, Caden Bowers, who's the backup right guard. He's 6'4", 370. Kevin Turner, or Tyler rather, backing up the right tackle, 6'3", 330. So in order to be here, you got to be at least 6'4", or at least over 300 pounds, one or the other.
Right, and you know, and that's how Coach Eric Dooley recruits. He recruits a certain size and strength, and their conditioning program is second to none. And getting these guys in shape, it's just all a matter of, for the Jaguars, just minimizing mistakes, playing with discipline, and you know, playing complementary football. So the ruling on the field will stand. It'll be third down and short, third and about 2 now for Conley and company.
Double tight making a change there. And great defensive play by Southern. They smelled it out.
Jordan Carter coming up from his safety position, read that play perfectly, and watch the great form tackle. Heat-seeking missile. Carter makes the play, and that's going to be another fourth down for Prairie View.
This time a 30-yard field goal coming up. just saw a field goal missed in their last possession, and this has been a long drive. The field goal attempt is up, and it is good. And now Prairie View will take a 10-7 lead here in the second quarter in Baton Rouge.
HBCUs are anchored by legacy. They nurture the talent and determination of their students and prepare them for a bright future. The Home Depot's Retool Your School program has and still believes in the excellence of HBCUs, committed not just in speech, but through the revitalization and upgrades of the campuses these students call home. Building, planting, tilling the dream, all hearts and countless volunteers on the ground. Retool Your School. We're powered by purpose.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels. Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself paid. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
Doritos created Solid Black in 2021 to help fuel the initiatives of black leaders seeking to drive real change. And this year, Doritos Solid Black is welcoming 16 new change makers to the program. We are Solid Black.
Huge play coming up.
Talking about dropping the ball.
I got the score.
Tostitos Hardy Dippers.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels. Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself paid. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
10-7 our score here at A.W. Mumford Stadium, Pete Richardson Field, and you talk about a legendary coach, Pete Richardson.
Yes, sir. One of the best ever in the SWAC.
Yeah, he has had a long career. And you talk about the coaching lineage of this of Coach Richardson. I mean, he's had so many great coaches that have come after him. So here's a scoring drive: 11 plays, 59 yards, taking 5:53 off the clock. I think that's major because that shows ball control.
Yeah, absolutely. 30-yard field goal by Carlos Villagomez. And Prairie View with a 3-point lead here on the road. And we talked about the importance of this ball game. The winner still alive for an opportunity. Alcorn will take on Texas Southern tomorrow afternoon in Houston. And then the Braves will finish up the season next Saturday at Jackson State. So if Alcorn loses one of those two ball games, the winner of this one is still alive.
A little bit of a hesitation there by Southern, and they get a good run back. A flag on the play, and finally the runner brought down at about the 42-yard line, but there is a flag on the play. On the return is Braylon Morgan, the redshirt sophomore from Baton Rouge. Still discussing the penalty here. So that is a holding penalty. And there you see Morgan on the return.
Yeah, you saw the hold there. It was easy. Grab of the jersey. So it's going to be a big penalty against the Jaguars. Going to wipe out some really good field position.
And that is what you don't want, is a big run back to be negated. Of course, the special teams coach, as well as the assistant head coach, is Terrence Graves, a Pete Richardson disciple, as a matter of fact. And I know he talks all the time about special teams and how important it is. Be careful of where your hands are going, especially you'll see runners that are past the block, and then you get called for holding, and you didn't even need to do it. And there's all kinds of movement on the left side of the Southern University line.
Looks like Harold Blood back in at quarterback, so it looks like Coach Eric Dooley is going to go to a quarterback by committee rotation here this afternoon in this big ball game.
Travion Newsom. Oh, they're going to call it on Joshua Trask, the right tackle. Called for that false start. And again, penalties negate good things that happen. Harold Blood in the shotgun. Looking. Down the sideline. It is caught. Winfield with a big catch on the sideline. And Harold giving Prairie View a few blue notes.
Winfield, the leading receiver for the Jaguars. You see him beat one-on-one coverage. Now the question is, did he get a foot down in bounds? The officials say yes, and Southern's going to rush to the line to try to get the playoff before review.
And that's exactly what they do. And here is the handoff. Minimal gain on the play. Kendrick Grimes already has a touchdown here today.
Jeremiah Harris coming up to make that tackle.
Not exactly the play that you want there on second down.
And those are the easy throws that the coaches and the fans get frustrated with Harold Blood. That's a simple throw in the flat.
Yeah.
That's an automatic. I mean, there's no pressure. There's no defenders in the area. Just toss it out to your wide receiver and let it make a play. You have blockers in front. And that's that inconsistency that has plagued him throughout the season.
Brings up third down here. Blood back to pass. Takes off with the football. Across the 35, and he's down to about the 34-yard line. Will that be enough for a first down?
He's going to end up a couple of yards short, so it's going to be decision time here for Coach Eric Dooley, and he may be in no man's land where he decides to keep the offense on the field on 4th and short.
And Southern will retain possession of the football. It's 4th down and 3 at the 34-yard line. Coach Eric Dooley says, hey, we got to go for it.
Yeah, big play in this ball game, 6 minutes to go before halftime, and it looks like the Jaguars are going to take a timeout to think about it. Their first timeout of the half, so both ball clubs will have 2 timeouts remaining for the remainder of this first half. And again, for Southern, offensively, they had the one nice drive, the 47-yard drive, 7-yard touchdown run by Kendrick Grimes. That was after the fumble recovery by Derek Williams off the Trayvon Conley fumble. And they missed the field goal on their last opportunity. So now an opportunity to go for it here on 4th down, see if they can get in a little bit better field goal range. And, of course, Joshua Griffin had a season-long of 53 against Texas Southern a couple of weeks ago. So they're within his range, but he missed one already today. See the human jukebox getting ready to perform at halftime.
Pitch out to the running back across the 30. Put it on some moves, 20. Down inside the 10-yard line. And Braylon Morgan getting a big carry and a first down.
Well, just a little jet sweep. It was supposed to go to the outside. Great job by Morgan recognizing there's nothing to the outside. Let me turn it up inside. And that was a huge running lane. And he picks up a first down inside the red zone, inside the 10.
And Southern wanted a flag after the play was over. They thought that Morgan was tackled out of bounds. But nonetheless, did they give him the flag? Now, he was tackled out of bounds at about, the 9-yard line?
Yeah, so apparently they moved it up an additional 5 yards due to the penalty.
Here is the run. Touchdown, Southern University. A direct snap to Kobe Dillon and the Jaguars on the board for 6.
Kobe Dillon out of the Wildcat this time. You'll see him take the direct snap again over the left side of that offensive line. Great kick out block. Big 74 John Mitchell opens up that running lane, and Kobe Dillon goes in for the score. And just like that, the Jaguars take the lead.
Extra point try coming up here for the Jaguars, and I tell you what, that is just a great individual effort by Braylon Morgan. Whistles on the play, and the officials telling someone who is beyond our view here, but someone in the end of the end zone, that they had to move. And the extra point coming up. Kick is up. Line drive shot, and it's good. Southern takes the lead here in the second quarter. 14-10 our score. $14-10 our score, Southern on top, and there you see the veterans here and members of the ROTC being honored here at Southern University, medals being placed on them, the great service that they've had here with the ROTC. And it's always great to see veterans being honored on Veterans Day weekend and really taking the opportunity to really just make sure that you say thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely want to thank all of those protect us and serve and have protected us and continue to serve across this great nation and the world abroad.
Absolutely. Of course, my Uncle Lewis Murphy, veteran Korean War, several family members that were in the service. Of course, the scoring drive, you see Southern University only taking less than 2 minutes of the clock in order to make that score. And you see another shot of those young folks who are part of the ROTC being honored here.
Well, it was a great drive. 74-yard drive. Took only 1:59 off the clock. Kobe Dillon taking it in from 4 yards out. And Prairie View, who kind of dominated this game early on, the early stages of the first quarter, has kind of seen their momentum wane as we've gotten deeper into this second period. And the Jaguars here at home take their first lead of the afternoon, 14-10, as Joshua Griffin prepares to kick it away.
And if you are Southern, this is another part of the game where you have to make sure you make a stop. You have to make a stop here on special teams and not allow Prairie View to get significant yardage. Here's a kick, and this one goes out of the end zone, so they won't even have an opportunity to return. Jenkins Jr. is dangerous. And, of course, the last time that these two teams met, Southern dominated this game 45-13.
Yeah, absolutely. 462 yards of total offense in that ball game last year. You see Prairie View last year only 3 of 12 on third downs. Time of possession was pretty even in the ball game last year, but the Jaguars really dominated that ball game down at Prairie View.
Southern, of course, went to the Southwestern Athletic Conference Championship as a representative of the Western Division, and it went down to the very end. Texas Southern was in it at the end. Ramley was in it at the end. Southern was in it at the end, so it went right down to the wire.
The same this year. It's going to go down to the final week of the season.
First down, and Antoine will carry the ball and get it only about a yard on the play.
Antoine, 10 carries so far this afternoon for 42 yards. Conley, 4 of 6 passing the football today, 94 yards, but 55 of that came on that touchdown strike to Savage on the opening drive.
That'll bring up second down and 9. Oh, and man, what a sack or almost a sack by the defense, I should say, but a great play. It was a kind of fooled everybody, including us.
Well, Conley did a great job pulling the football that time. As you watch the defensive end crash down and gobble up Antoine in the backfield, but luckily Conley kept the football and got some positive yardage on the play.
That was ingenious. I mean, he pulled it out as the runner was going down. So now what could have been a disastrous play is now third down and 4.
Prairie View only 1 of 3 on third down so far this afternoon. This was a big one here near the end of the half.
Looking at Southern showing a little bit of blitz and then backing off, and there's some movement on the offensive line. Looks like Big Lewis had too much inertia, couldn't stop him.
It looks like they called a timeout before the delay of game.
So it'll be a 30-second timeout here. 4:07 remaining in the second quarter. Santoria Black along with Ken Moore bringing you today's game from A.W. Mumford Stadium, Pete Richardson Field here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. If you've never visited the campus, you come over what they call the bump. Of course, that bridge that brings you over. You see the baseball stadium to your right as soon as you come across that hill. And then, of course, you see the basketball stadium, and then you see A.W. Mumford Stadium beyond. Beautiful campus.
And, of course, basketball season just getting underway for schools in the SWAC and all the schools across the nation as well as we get ready to transition into basketball season, but still a couple of more weeks of great football to go.
Well, those few weeks of transition with football and basketball are nuts. Third down and 4 here. Man in motion for Prairie View. And a big run here by the Panthers inside the 40-yard line. And once again, for the Panthers, that was Big Brooks.
Great job by Conley in the pocket, recognizing the pressure, knowing that he had Brooks as his safety valve out of the backfield, unaccounted for in that Jaguar secondary. And there's going to be an additional mark-off, looks like a penalty against the Jaguars. Are going to add on to the end of the run and take the football down inside the 20-yard line. But great recognition that time by Trayvon Conley.
I want to recognize Reggie Flood because he corrected me. He's called the hump, not the bump. It's called the hump as you come into campus. I should have known that, but I'm not going to say why I don't, but we're going to go past it.
The Humpty Dance, do your dance. It's called the hump.
14-10 our score. Southern University now with their backs against the wall. Prairie View inside the red zone, the most precious real estate on the football field. Here is Antoine, gets around the edge, 10 to the 5, touchdown, and actually that is going to be Jaquan Bloomfield on the end around. And Bloomfield with his first carry of the day, and he gets 6 on the board for Prairie View.
This play was well designed. Watch just a little reverse jet sweep. You get all the Jaguar defenders going one way. You pitch it to Bloomfield coming the opposite direction. Get those big, as you mentioned, buffet busters out in front to open up that running lane. And it's an easy stroll into the end zone for Bloomfield. And Prairie View, just like that, recaptures the lead.
16-14, extra point try to come. It's up, it is good. And we will stay right here. 3:21 left in the second quarter, and that's not what you want, is a touchdown like that as Bloomfield gets around the edge, puts 6 up on the board, and now the Southern University offense wants to come back out and answer.
Well, the offenses start to unleash here near the end of the half. And again, the ground level look. Again, you see all the Jaguar defenders going one way. And then once they recognize Bloomfield has the rock, it is too late. As Dimitri Morcell, number 11, could not make the stop. And PV on the road with the lead.
You notice he was shaking that finger. Bloomfield was like, nah, you're not going to catch me. 4 plays, 75 yards, 213 off the clock. Panthers now up 17-14. Great to see the band cheerleaders from Prairie View coming on over to Baton Rouge. And I tell you what, always great to see both bands in the house.
You know, that's a nice little drive from Prairie View down to Baton Rouge, probably about 4.5 hours down I-10. And
you sound like you made the drive before.
I've made that drive several times. Made that drive several times to Baton Rouge. And luckily, the weather has cleared up as well, as it was raining cats and dogs for most of the week.
Here's a turn by Southern and a great run once again by Morgan, and he's had some really good runs here in this ballgame.
Been very elusive so far, and good job with the coverage unit of Prairie View, keeping him inside the 30-yard line. They're going to spot him down at the 27-yard line. So 3 minutes, 11 seconds to go here before halftime. Jaguars still have 2 timeouts remaining, trailing by 3 here at home. See if they can try to get into field goal range or possibly in the end zone before the end of the first half.
And I think if you are Southern, you know, one of the main things you just got to do is keep control of the football. As you see a trips formation to the bottom of your screen. Now a man in motion. Blood, who's in at quarterback, gets the ball out to the receiver, and nothing much on first down.
Well, there wasn't much deception in that screen pass. Prairie View read it perfectly. Nowhere for Rhymes to go. So now you're looking at a 2nd and long situation for Harold Blood and company. We've seen a little bit of Noah Botton here today. Blood, 7 of 10 this afternoon, 72 yards, no touchdowns, no INTs. He has been sacked once.
But no INTs is an important number. Here is Blood with the throw and the catch. And that's Pete on the catch.
So now that'll set up 3rd down and short. That's a nice play on 2nd and long. Get back into 3rd and manageable now. You have your entire playbook at your disposal. Southern this afternoon 0 of 4 on 3rd down.
Blood looking, quick strike. That's August Pete across the 40. Still on his feet, and he gets to about the 47-yard line, and that's enough for a first down.
Well, August Pete was his go-to guy on the opening drive of the ball game. Just a little crossing route, catches Prairie View in man-to-man coverage, able to string it out all the way to the sideline. Fourth reception of the afternoon for Pete and another first down for the Jaguars.
Here is a toss out to, looks like Kendrick Rhymes. And boy, Rhymes has become a much more detailed, or I should say a much more intricate part of the ball game here today.
Yeah, wasn't heavily involved last week against Alcorn, but they're starting to get him into the rotation here in the second period as we approach a minute 37 now as the Jaguars move into Panther territory.
Give once again. Nothing doing.
Ball hit the turf. I think it bounced right back up into the hands of Rhymes. Last week he had a fumble, did Kendrick Rhymes, and he also had a pass go off his hands for an interception, and that was part of the reason that he did not get a lot of touches, and you see him put the football on the turf once again.
The give. Across the 40 and out of bounds inside the 35-yard line. And once again, Kendrick Rhymes toting the rock. Just over a minute remaining in the first half of play. This is the kind of drive that if you're Southern that you need late in the first half.
Especially knowing that Prairie View will get the football to begin the third quarter.
Blood with the pass. Complete. It's going to be Allen on the reception, and he goes out of bounds with 49 seconds remaining.
Nice job by Allen getting as much as he can, got out of bounds. Looks like he did pick up the first down, or just shy.
2nd and 1. And the officials stopping play momentarily. Blood with the give. Across the 20 and out of bounds. That's going to be a flag for horse collar. And, of course, on the carry was Kendrick Rhymes, but you could definitely tell that that's going to be one of those things. You're way above the shoulder pads, dragging the player back.
Yeah, and the thing is, you're that close to the sideline, just push him out of bounds.
Yeah.
I mean, the play's going to be over. Now you give them half the distance to the goal, automatic first down, and you stop the clock.
Tariq Mulmore with the penalty. Matter of fact, he was second on the team in tackles against Arkansas Pine Bluff. He had 5 tackles in the ball game. And for Prairie View, the penalty gives them an automatic first down. First and goal at the 10-yard line, just inside the 10-yard line. What started out as a slow game for the Jags has turned into a game where they have picked the pace up tremendously. Here's the give. Inside the 10, down to about the 8. Not a lot on first down.
Now you got to manage your timeouts. If you coach Eric Dooley, you still have 2 at your disposal. Looks like he's going to use one of them now. Jaguars on the season been inside the red zone 23 times coming into the ball game today. They've converted just over half of those into touchdowns, 12 out of 23 into touchdowns.
Well, of course, coming up at halftime, you'll get a chance to look at both bands, Prairie View A&M Marching Band, along with the Southern University Marching Bands, for a little halftime entertainment. Love to be able to showcase the bands at halftime during our telecast.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Coming down towards the last couple of weeks of the football season, and another couple opportunities for these bands to showcase themselves. And I tell you, man, this season has really flown by.
I mean, we were just talking about the start of the season, the Labor Day holiday, start of the high school season, and now we are almost at the end of the season. I mean, you got high school football playoffs going on all over the country. You're wrapping up the last month of the regular season here in college football. I mean, it's really winding down.
I mean, Thanksgiving is in 2 weeks.
Oh, man.
You got your turkey and your ham order?
I don't have nothing. Blood decides to keep it himself, run inside the 10-yard line, and he is tackled at about the line of scrimmage, right at about the 8. He thought about pitching it, went back to the inside, and that's really where all of the defenders were, back to the inside.
So now the Jaguars use their final timeout So now you're in that situation where if you get tackled inside the field of play, you're either going to have to rush your field goal unit onto the field or line up to go for it on fourth down. So this play has to go into the end zone, and that has to be the message from Eric Dooley to his quarterback, Harold Blood.
Yeah, not many options here. The biggest thing is you don't want to give up a sack. That's the biggest thing. You don't want to give up a sack.
Absolutely, yes. A sack would absolutely kill this drive and ruin any chances of getting points.
So 3rd and goal. About two plays remaining here for Southern here in the first half. Of course, you don't want to commit a penalty if you're Prairie View and give Southern a fresh set of downs either. Here's Blood, back to pass. Blood still looking. Blood will toss it into the end zone. Touchdown, Southern. Big touchdown for the Jags, and they take the lead late here in this first half.
Great job by Harold Blood in the pocket, moving outside, keeping his eyes downfield. And you see he's got Pete in the back of the end zone, and a great job by August Pete just finding an open area, and the Jaguars retake the lead.
Boy, Pete, I tell you what, he was running all over the back of the end zone trying to find an opening, and he did so. And Southern now with a lead, just 11 ticks remaining until halftime. Extra point try coming up. The kick is up, and it's good. 21-17 now. We have got a ball game here in Baton Rouge.
And a back and forth. It's like a tennis match as these offenses move up and down the field. 75-yard drive by the Jaguars took exactly 3 minutes off the clock as they retake the lead, as they try to defend their home field on this cloudy afternoon in Louisiana.
Well, that is exactly what this crowd was looking for. You got the band and the crowd into it, and boy, once you get that old momentum going, it's hard to stop it.
All right, 11 seconds for the Jaguars to defend the rest of the half.
Well, the SWAC Championship coming up December the 2nd. Of course, the site right now is unknown. If I had to guess, Tallahassee, Florida A&M.
It is guaranteed. They clinched it last week, so it will be in FAMU's backyard. They will host the SWAC Championship game against either Alcorn, Prairie View, or Southern, the 3 teams still in the hunt in the West.
Here is the kick. Comes down at the 1. Brian Jenkins Jr. out to the 10. Still on his feet. Makes a spin and down at about the 16.
Expect the Panthers to just take a knee here, or maybe a simple draw play. You don't want to have a turnover and make things worse. As the Prairie View defense is kind of falling apart here in the latter stages of the first half, giving up back-to-back drives of 74 and 75 yards to this Southern offense.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what they will do. They will kneel on the football and take it into the halftime locker room. It is 21-17 here in the capital city of Louisiana, Baton Rouge. Southern University Jaguars scoring late in the first half to get the lead. We will take a timeout. Our halftime activities coming up right here. SWAC football presented by Pepsi on ESPN. 21-17 is our score here at halftime. Southern on top. Let's take you down to the field. It is our Pepsi halftime show. The Prairie View A&M Marching Storm entertaining the crowd here in Baton Rouge. Is our halftime score. The Jaguars on top of the Panthers. The Marching Storm from Prairie View A&M University entertaining the crowd in Baton Rouge. We'll take a timeout with SWAC news and notes coming up on the other side. 21-17 our score. The marching storm comes on. Human Jukebox about to come on. But before that, let's talk about some of the SWAC news and notes going on around the conference. And, of course, presented by GM.
Well, the SWAC announced a new partnership with Google. The collaboration is dedicated to leveraging Google's STEM platform systems to nurture our young college talent, ensuring that they have the capabilities required by the future workforce in the tech industry.
Definitely game-changing. The SWAC has named PV's Kylie Owens, Leah Lawson, and Bailey Hewitt, along with FAMU's Brooke Hudson, the SWAC volleyball honors for their impressive performances during this past week of conference play.
And we mentioned that basketball season is here, and the Jaguars came away with an impressive 14-point victory over UNLV on Wednesday night, claiming their first win in non-conference play this season. Hoops is here.
SWAC News and Notes presented by GM. And, of course, taking a look at the SWAC scoreboard from last night, Grambling went to Pine Bluff and beat the Golden Lions. Slow start, but they were able to get the victory, 43-14. Bethune-Cookman beat Alabama A&M today, 31-14. And it was Alabama State. They're on top of Valley at the half, 20-3. Lincoln and Florida A&M, 7 p.m. Eastern, coming up on ESPN+.
And the big game coming up tomorrow on the ESPN family of networks, Alcorn taking on Texas Southern, a rare Sunday afternoon game in Houston. That's going to be a big one for Alcorn State.
All right, so that's the SWAC scoreboard presented by Pepsi. Now here is the SWAC slate for next week. 10 teams playing. Southern Grambling with the weekend off. Valley will be at Alabama A&M. That's a Thursday night game. Alabama State will make the long trip to Prairie View. Alcorn and Jackson, kind of like that Capital City Classic thing going on. That's going to be pretty big. Arkansas Pine Bluff will take on Texas Southern and Bethune-Cookman and Florida A&M. And that is the Florida Classic. That's a pretty big game.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a huge one. Bethune-Cookman coming off of their huge win this weekend. But the two big games that may determine the SWAC West Championship, Alcorn State and Jackson State, Alabama State and Prairie View, depending on what happens here in the second half.
That is the SWAC slate presented by Pepsi. We are at halftime. Coming back, we will get a look at the Southern University Human Jukebox right after this. 21-17 is our score. Back after this. 21-17 here at halftime. Southern on top. Let's take it to the field. Our Pepsi halftime band performance. It's the Southern University Human Jukebox.
Mic check. Let's go, Boxer. Let's break it down.
Here at halftime, the Southern University Human Jukebox entertaining the crowd. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back with our stats right after this. Just about to start the third quarter here in Baton Rouge. Jaguars on top, 21-17 over Prairie View A&M. Time to take a look at some of the highlights from the first half of this ball game, and there were a few, especially later on in the first half.
Yeah, we got started. Conley, first drive of the game, 97-yard drive, 55-yard strike to Savage. Takes it to the house. PV stripped first, but then Kendrick Rhymes, after a turnover, gets into the end zone and made it 7-7.
Then, of course, field goal by Prairie View going up on this one. And then, once again, Southern University finding pay dirt, and they're able to take the lead.
Yeah, Kobe Dillon went in, and then Bloomfield on the reverse. Little trickeration by the Panthers. Retakes the lead 17-14. 3 minutes to go before the break, but Harold Blood.
I know it was the blood
in me to August Pete for the touchdown. And the Jaguars with a 21-17 lead here at the break. As you take a look at the halftime numbers, fairly equal across the board. Prairie View doing a great job running the football. Southern doing a great job passing the football. Both teams with penalties, 4 for 50 for Southern, 3 for 31 for PV.
I think the biggest thing is not just that they happened, but when they happened, Southern probably cost themselves another 10 to 14 points because of where they happened. One of them took them right out of field goal range. And this one is a sky kick. Comes down to Prairie View at about the 27, 28-yard line. Not sure if that's what the Jags wanted to do to start this half out, but nonetheless, Prairie View will get the ball just inside the 30-yard line.
Well, you know, Prairie View had a couple of nice returns in that first half, so probably something that the special teams coaches talked about at halftime for Southern. Hey, we're just going to pooch kick this, pin them inside the 30-yard line, and see if our defense can go to work.
Buffet Busters coming back onto the field now for Prairie View A&M, and of course, their quarterback, Trazon Conley, 6'2", 195-pound junior, on the field as well.
Conley in that first half, only 5 of 7 for 129 yards.
And they tried to get the catch out to the wide receiver, and that was Trajan Spiller. Been relatively quiet today, but Spiller is that guy that you have to watch because he can make things happen at a moment's notice.
Interesting splits for Prairie View in that first half. 29 offensive snaps, 22 rushing attempts, only 7 passes for Prairie View in that first half. I thought they would try to attack this Southern secondary a little more.
2nd down and 10, Conley looking. Conley going deep down the middle of the field. It is incomplete. Savage was the intended receiver.
And they tried to go back to the well that they went to in the first half on the opening drive. And again, they had Savage, a post pattern. He had a couple of steps on the defenders, pass just a little overthrown by Conley that time. And it's going to set up a big 3rd down now for Prairie View. Southern trying to force a 3-and-out early here in the 3rd quarter.
Well, if you are Southern, this is exactly where you wanted Prairie View. It's 3rd down and long. Conley looking, takes off with the football. Now a little short pass, incomplete. Brian Jenkins Jr. could not come up with a football in his 4th down.
You see Jenkins upset. Conley kind of short-armed that pass to Jenkins, and it was low and behind him. And Jenkins Jr. could not come up with the reception. So we talked about only 7 pass plays in the first half for Prairie View. They come out with 3 straight passes to begin the 3rd quarter, 3 straight incompletions.
They will punt the ball away.
This will be the first punt of the afternoon for Prairie View.
You see some shifting by Prairie View, and here is the kick. This one a low kick.
It's fumbled by the return man. A little out of our sight there, but he fumbled the football and went to a knee.
Timeout on the field, 21-17 is our score. Jaguars will take over first time in the second half.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels. Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself paid. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
HBCUs are anchored by legacy. They nurture the talent and determination of their students and prepare them for a bright future. The Home Depot's Retool Your School program has and still believes in the excellence of HBCUs, committed not just in speech, but through the revitalization and upgrades of the campuses these students call home. Building, planting, tilling the dream, all hearts and countless volunteers on the ground. Retool Your School. We're powered by purpose.
When you join the HBCU family, you become part of the tradition of breaking barriers in your community, breaking ground in your career, and bringing it with everything you do. From how you look to how you move in the classroom, on the court, and on the field. That's why Academy Sports and Outdoors is proud to celebrate the HBCU legacy and all those to add to it in their own way.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels. Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself paid. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
21-17 is our score as the Jaguars will now take over 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. First possession of the second half. Blood with a handoff and maybe a gain of 2 on this play on the run. But a lot of colliding going on inside. Second down. First half, not only did we see a lot of great plays, we saw some great runs, but there was a lot of spirited play as well.
Well, both of these coaches, I'm sure at halftime, had to instruct their ball clubs, hey, this is an important second half, the most important second half of the season. You have to maintain your composure. You can't have post-play fouls. You can't have personal fouls. And you see an injured Jaguar. We saw a lot of injuries in the first half as well, mostly on the Prairie View side. Now we have an injured Jaguar down.
That's Bernard Childs. I believe that's the center. And he is holding that leg.
Bernard Childs, number 60.
And he is now getting up on his feet.
Medical personnel to get over to him, and some of the big buddies is going to help him off, and he's not putting any weight on that right leg.
Bernard Childs is the starting center in the ballgame. So that could be a major development. We saw one of the linemen from Prairie View get injured in the first half. Now we see one from Southern, and it's their center.
Backup center on the depth chart is a redshirt freshman, Brandon Johnson. As you look at the quarterback comparison in the first half, and again, Conley only passing the ball 7 times in that first half. Harold Blood had a pretty good first half as he shared time with Noah Bott.
Blood looking.
Blood goes down the backfield. Number 37, Miles.
And there's going to be a great play there by number 37. And that is going to be Miles McCaney, the 4th.
AC Blood had no time to get rid of the football as McCaney was in the backfield for Blood. Had time to even look downfield. So that's going to be a quick 3 and out for the Jaguars. So both of these offenses sputtering coming out of halftime.
3 and outs really quick. Here is the punt from Southern. Comes down to Prairie View at about the 37, 38-yard line. First down and 10 at that point for the Panthers at the 39-yard line, as a matter of fact. Well, Ken, you know, look, we talk about these next 2 weeks. Next week, you got a couple of big games on rivalries. That Mississippi rivalry between Alcorn and Jackson is going to be big. Used to call it the Capital City Classic. Now they go back and forth with each other on their home sites. Florida Classic now between Florida A&M and Bethune-Cookman. And then the week after that, you got the Turkey Day Classic and then the Bayou Classic.
Bayou Classic, the granddaddy of them all. And, you know, Southern won that ball game last year to get themselves into that SWAC championship game. And you don't know what's going to be on the line when those two teams meet in a couple of weeks, but we know a lot will be on the line next week between Alcorn State and Jackson State.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And, of course, 50th anniversary of the Bayou Classic, 50th anniversary of hip-hop. How about that?
Oh, man. Yeah, it's been a heck of a year, you know, for hip-hop and all the celebrations throughout the summer. And, you know, a lot of great festivals going on across the country celebrating hip-hop this year. And we'll talk about your top 5 hip-hop artists as we get deeper into this second half.
Oh, Lord.
Put you on the spot.
I'm at the think now. Third down now as the clock continues to roll. And for the Prairie View and Panthers, just look at those guys across the front line. It looks like a skyline.
Well, we talked about all the good eating down in you know, Baton Rouge. Hey, some pretty good eating in H-Town, you know, down in Prairie View. You know, Williams Chicken and Frenchies and whatnot. So a lot of good places for those fellas to go get their meal on.
Third down, it looks like the quarterback is going to be brought down. Conley had nowhere to go as he took off with the football. And just think about this. Conley is 6'2", and he looks like he's small compared to these guys.
Yeah, 6'2", almost 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Get a good look at Kobe Givens there, one of the leaders of that defense for the Jaguars. Edge rusher from the outside, and Prairie View going to have to punt this football away. So second possession and the second punt for Prairie View here.
Shifting going on now with the punt formation.
It's 4th and short. It's only one, so Southern's going to have to be wary of a fake. They may try to draw them off sides, and it looks like Southern is not going to take the bait.
Are they going to call it delay a game here? Yep.
Panthers going to play the field position game, try to force Southern deep into their own end if they can get a good punt away here.
Southern sending in another substitute here in this punt formation. Here is the kick. Want to send Southern back inside the 15-yard line. So the Jaguars will have their ball deep in their own territory. When we come back, it's 21-17. Jags on top. Southern University with the football to start this drive and a 4-point lead deep in their own territory. Trips to the top of your screen for the Jaguars. And Blood will hand off the football. Nothing doing on first down. Boy, that Prairie View A&M run defense has been stout.
Well, they're doing a great job here to begin this second half. They gave up those 2 long touchdown drives at the end of the first half, but the Prairie View defense has come out with their hair on fire so far here to begin this third period.
No gain on that play, and so it's second down and 10. Oh, all kinds of movement going on, and that flag will come on the play.
Yeah, you saw Prairie View showing blitz that time, and that may have caused one of the offensive linemen for Southern to flinch. And it will be a false start against the Jags, and that's going to back them up 5 yards.
Well, you don't need self-inflicted wounds. I think that's what when we talk to Coach Dooley, that's what he talks about, is we can't do anything to hurt ourselves.
Well, those are the worst kind.
Yeah.
The self-inflicted.
And it backs them up to the original line of scrimmage, right at about the 9-yard line. So it'll be second down and 15. They started this drive at the 9. Here is the give. Not a lot on second down. It'll be third down and about 10 now.
Kendrick Grimes, first half, 14 carries, 57 yards, 1 touchdown. August Pete, the leading receiver so far here in the first half. 6 receptions for 54 yards and a score. So he's been the guy that they've looked for in these big third down situations. And as you see Southern doing some substituting now, and the officials come in and they're going to allow Preview a chance to substitute, and now Southern's going to have to end up burning the timeout as they just took too much time to try to get their substitutions in.
Yeah, you can tell coaches are not happy because they just came out of a break there, and then they have to go in and try to take another timeout. And late in the ball game, as we saw late in the first half, timeouts could be premium, so you got to be real careful. 50th Annual Bayou Classic Thanksgiving weekend down in New Orleans, and of course it features Grambling and Southern. It is the Louisiana rivalry. This game, of course, has gone through a lot this last 50 years. Started at Tulane Stadium, and then, of course, now at the Superdome. The 1 year, of course, where Hurricane Katrina came in. They moved to Houston for a year, and now been back in New Orleans for quite some time. And it's good. It's a great weekend, all weekend long. And that's one great thing about these classics. It's not just about the football game. All the other ancillary activities, there are alumni activities by both schools that are put on. Just a fantastic weekend. Blood will take off with a football. Flag on the play, and Blood is taken down at about the 22, 23-yard line, but there is a flag.
Yeah, he's going to come up about 1 yard short of the first down, and now we'll check the penalty marker.
Holding against Southern, and that'll back them up too. And again, it's not necessarily that you get the penalties, it's where you get them at.
Exactly. And so now decision time for Coach Eric Dooley. Do you want to force a 4th and 1, or do you want to back them up another 10 yards and make a punt situation from there even more difficult? I think he's going to decline the penalty from the looks of it.
Coach McDowell, yeah. Bubba McDowell will.
Bubba McDowell, excuse me. And he's going to force Southern to punt the football here from deep in their own end, I believe.
Number 78 will be accepted.
No, he's going to go ahead and accept the penalty. So this will be half the distance to the goal from the 14 back to the 7. So it's going to be third down now and about 17 yards to go. And if Prairie View can force an incompletion or a short run here, then you force Southern to punt from their own end zone.
21-17 our score.
Of course, we saw a draw play to Kendrick Grimes in this situation in the first half that went nowhere. So we'll see what Coach Eric Dooley draws up here on 3rd and long.
Here is the give. Across the 5, out to about the 9-yard line or about the 8-yard line. It'll be 4th down at that point, 4th and about, 11?
Yeah, they're going to mark him up around the 13. So, again, a draw play to Kendrick Grimes in 3rd and long situation. So, Coach Eric Dooley picks up a few yards on that penalty exchange. And, again, Southern will be lining up in their own end zone to punt this football away. So, if they don't have a penalty here, Prairie View should get excellent field position.
Well, this game has remained close once these teams got going. They have remained really close, and now Prairie View's got a lot of pressure on that line. Here is the punt. Sends the Panthers back to about the 40-yard line. Jenkins Jr. still on his feet, and he will be corralled at about the 46-yard line.
Great coverage that time by the Southern Special Teams unit, keeping him corralled. And, you know, he is very dangerous in the open field, but a good job bringing him down. But Prairie View going to have excellent field position, trailing by 4. They're going to officially spot it at the 46.
I'll tell you what, we've got a lot of great people who are texting and tweeting that they're watching the game. We'll shout out some people in just a little bit. Florida A&M and Bethune-Cookman, that's next weekend, Florida Classic. And again, man, you talk about just great time. And one of the things that the Florida Classic does that is really, really great, they also have a great job opportunities, job fair for students that come to that particular game. Here is the run by Prairie View. And that is going to be Ahmad Antoine. Goes out of bounds.
Antoine in that first half had 12 carries, 49 yards. He's been the bell cow so far this afternoon for this PV rushing attack. Picks up a nice gain and a first down.
And pass is incomplete over the head of the receiver. Shamar Savage was the intended receiver on that play.
Conley only 5 of 10, now 5 of 11 throwing the football. 0 of 4 here so far to begin the second half. So this Prairie View air attack has really fizzled here so far to begin the third quarter. I don't think Conley's really gotten into a rhythm this afternoon after that opening drive.
That's a great point. Conley with the pass. It's complete across the 35 down to about the 32, 33-yard line. And on the catch for Prairie View A&M, David Murray, the tight end from Katy, Texas.
But again, watch the throw by Conley. See how low it is. The big tight end has to go down to scoop it off the ground, and that slows down his forward momentum, allowing the Jaguars to come up and make a play shy of the first down marker.
Notice they're keeping the ball in the field of play, not going out of bounds. They want to continue to eat up clock and put pressure on Southern if they can get into the end zone. Here is the carry, nothing doing. And that's going to be tough now. 4th down.
Now again, decision time for Coach Bubba McDowell. Your team trailing by 4 points. 6 minutes to go here in the quarter. You're on fringe field goal range. You've already missed 1 field goal, so he's going to keep the offense on the field here for 4th and short.
4th down and 2 they've got to get to right at about the, 31-yard line. Man, this is going to be close. Oh, depends on the spot. This could be close.
It depends on if it's a left foot spot or a right foot spot.
Yes. This is a close one.
And apparently it's a right foot spot, and the officials are going to move the chains and say Prairie View picked up the first down. They aren't even going to measure.
So the ball resting at the 31-yard line, and it's 1st down and 10 for Prairie View. Substitutions going on for Southern on defense. And if you're Prairie View, a fresh set of downs is always great. Continue to work on this drive. Conley in trouble, takes a sack.
And that was Jalen Campbell that got in from the sack, and Campbell is down now. Conley could not get rid of the football again, rolling to his left. Very difficult for a right-handed quarterback to get rid of the football, so he had to eat it. And Jalen Campbell, with his second sack of the season, but now the leader of this defense is down for the Jaguars.
Yeah, it's going to be that's another injury here for Southern. While they attend to the injured Southern Jaguar, we'll take a timeout. 21-17, Southern on top.
Doritos created Solid Black in 2021 to help fuel the initiatives of black leaders seeking to drive real change. And this year, Doritos Solid Black is welcoming 16 new change makers to the program. We are Solid Black.
Huge play coming up.
Talking about dropping the ball.
I got the score.
Tostitos Hardy Dippers.
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels. Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself paid. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
HBCUs are anchored by legacy. They nurture the talent and determination of their students and prepare them for a bright future. The Home Depot's Retool Your School program has and still believes in the excellence of HBCUs. Committed not just in speech, but through the revitalization and upgrades of the campuses these students call home. Building, planting, tilling the dream, all hearts and countless volunteers on the ground. Retool Your School. We're powered by purpose.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels. Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself paid. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
Just under 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Another injury on the field. It's second down and long for the Panthers. And Antoine on the carry. Antoine from East St. Louis, or I should say St. Louis, Missouri, went to East St. Louis High School.
Big third down coming up now here for Prairie View, and you want to try to pick up at least half of it here. You're looking at about third and about 12. So you want to at least get in the field goal range, try to get down around the 25-yard line, and then you give yourself an opportunity. If you want to, you can go for it on fourth down. And looks like we're going to have another timeout.
Yep, I think this one's going to be for this timeout is taken by Prairie View. Well, I guess, and that's one of the things you're trying to see what the defense is going to present, I guess, if you're Prairie View. 30-second timeout, by the way. There you see the coaches talking to the Southern University defense.
Again, this is a Southern defense that last week against Alcorn gave up 439 yards of total offense, 263 yards through the air. Prairie View has had a little bit of a different approach this afternoon as they've tried to attack the Jaguar defense on the ground this afternoon.
4:09 remaining in this third quarter. Big third down here for the Panthers. Conley will pass this one. Complete inside the 20. That may be enough for a first down. Pass complete to Chris Herron.
I'll tell you what, Santoria, great job pre-snap by Prairie View. They put a couple of men in motion and recognized what defense Southern was in. They were in man-to-man defense, so that was the key to Conley to go with the crossing route, and he was able to hit the receiver on the money, pick up a big pass play. Now they're inside the red zone.
Conley looking. Pass is complete. Gets it out to Herron. Herron gets inside the 10-yard line.
Chris Herron with the reception. Horatio Jackson with the tackle.
Now the Panthers convert that big 3rd and 12, and now they're knocking at the door as we're approaching the 3-minute mark here in the 3rd period.
And they can get a first down at about the 7-yard line. Here is the give, going into the end zone. Touchdown, Prairie View A&M University. Jamarius Chunky Brooks getting into the end zone.
Oh, it looks like Chunky, I hope that's a cramp. I hope that's a cramp. But Brooks gets into the end zone as Prairie View retakes the lead. And you see Brooks hobbling to the side. Looks like it was his right lower leg that he was grabbing, and looks like he's walking it off now. So hopefully that's just a cramp for the young man. But a nice scoop to the corner of the end zone. And just like that, Prairie View back on top in this back and forth affair.
Well, let's take a look at this again. And there's some great blocking on the outside. And boy, I tell you what, Jamarius Brooks, as they call him, Chunky. Chunky Soup ate up Southern's defense like a meal on that play.
And Shamir Savage, you got to give him a lot of credit. The wide receiver on the outside had a tremendous block down by the goal line, and that allowed Brooks to get just inside the pylon to get in for the score.
Well, now if you're Southern, you got to come back out and put together a sustaining drive. And I think that's, when you look at this first part of this 3rd quarter, that's something that Southern has not been able to do. You can see this once again, just great blocking on the inside.
Yeah, see Brooks up there, number 1, putting his man on the turf. You don't see many pancake blocks from a wide receiver, but you saw it that time, and then you see Brooks go down grabbing that right calf.
So you hope Brooks is okay, and now the Southern Jaguars will get the ball back here.
So far for Southern in this 3rd quarter, great adjustment defensively by Prairie View. As you look at that scoring drive, 10 plays, 54 yards, eating up a lot of that 3rd quarter clock, nearly 4.5 minutes. But for Southern, 2 opening drives here in the 3rd quarter, and they've had to punt it both times.
Well, if you are Prairie View, you want to continue to eat up clock. That is the whole key, is keep playing keep away from Southern. Here is the kick. Goes into the hands of the return man at about the 3. Out to the 20. Nice block out to the 30. And flags all over the place.
So one nice block, but I think there are a couple of illegal blocks that's going to put Southern back deep inside their own territory. And there's another Jaguar down at around the 17-yard line. I think the Jags are going to be starting inside their own 25-yard line after all is said and done.
Braylon Morgan on the return for Southern as we're under 3 minutes here in this 3rd quarter of play. And there was a flag that came, it was really in the middle of the field. The play was on the opposite end, so we'll see what the infraction is going to be. Well, you can tell this is a big game for both of these coaches because really, again, the winner of this game, it's kind of like you move on to the next level. The loser, probably your chances at the division crown are over.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's pretty simple as we break it down for Southern. They need to win both of their final ball games today against Prairie View and against Grambling at the Bayou Classic, and they have to hope for Alcorn to lose both of their ball games. Tomorrow against Texas Southern, and then next week against Jackson State.
So the 2 penalties will offset and they will re-kick the ball. And if you're Prairie View, you can't really be mad at that. You got an opportunity to try to pin them back again here.
Right, absolutely. And the scenario for Prairie View, as they have the tiebreaker against Alcorn, as they beat the Braves earlier this season. So if Prairie View wins their final 2 ball games and Alcorn just loses once, then Prairie View will make it to the SWAC championship game against Florida A&M. So ironically, Prairie View will be rigid supporters of their rivals, Texas Southern, tomorrow. They will be in front of the television, assuming they win today. They will be in front of the television rooting for TSU tomorrow afternoon. Can you imagine that? The watch party at Prairie View rooting for Texas Southern tomorrow. That'll be one to watch, ladies and gentlemen.
That is absolutely incredible. Oh, man. Having to root for your rival in order for you to get a chance to go to the championship game.
By any means necessary.
Here is the kick, and it will come down to Southern, this time at about the 14-yard line. Oh, man, what a collision at the 26. As Morgan once again on the return, and Prairie View.
Is that Cody Mayberry coming up to make that hit?
Well, I tell you what, there was a lot of colliding going on. Taking a look at Kendrick Rhymes and what he's done today.
Yeah, he's back on track after a disappointing performance last week against Alcorn, where he put the ball on the turf a couple of times. Really good afternoon, 17 carries, 68 yards on the score. And he's been one of the key offensive weapons for the Jaguars. They got him unleashed in that second quarter. We talked about trying to get him more involved in the offense, caught a couple of screen passes. They need to get him back involved here in the third period.
And there you see the aforementioned Kendrick Rhymes, Noah Bodden at the signal caller position. And, of course, Rhymes will go across the 30-yard line. So Noah Bodden will get back into the ball game. And we've seen this now a little bit where Coach Dooley will go with Blood, and then now back to Bodden, and then Blood again, and now back to Bodden.
Yeah, Bodden in that first half, 3 of 4, 54 yards, had good control of the offense. See what he can do here now that Southern trails by 3.
The give to Kendrick Rhymes. He gets across the 30 and maybe up to about the 32, 33-yard line.
You got to give a lot of credit to this Prairie View defense. They've made the adjustments at halftime to try to slow down this Southern offensive attack. The Jaguars facing another third down now, third and about 4. They need to get to their own 36-yard line to keep this drive alive. The last thing they want to do is have another 3 and out.
Noah Bodden will hand the ball off to Kendrick Rhymes across the 30. He's up to about the 35-yard line. And will that be about a yard short of a first down?
I believe so, yeah. It's going to be 4th down once again. And you see the difference in the tackling this afternoon for Prairie View. Coach Bubba McDowell talked to us this week. He said the one thing that we've struggled with so far this season is tackling. We don't practice a lot of hitting in practice, so it's hard to get better this time of the season, but it's just up to each man to do their job, and looks like Southern may go for it here on 4th down.
That's exactly what they will do, and they are wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. Kendrick Rhymes was nailed in the backfield, and on the tackle was the linebacker, Keyshawn Johnson.
Watch the penetration that time from the front 4, and then Keyshawn Johnson, number 9, there to finish it off. But the great penetration by Ray Jr. and his friends, and what a gamble by Coach Eric Dooley inside his own 35-yard line, decides to go for it on 4th down, and it fails, and now Prairie View set up deep inside Jaguar territory.
The short field, and now the defense for Southern University, trying to make sure that they get it together. And this is what you don't want to do, is put your defense in this type of position to where their backs are against the wall.
Critical moment in this ball game at the end of the third period.
Under a minute. Conley takes off with the ball, and he is wrapped up. Goes nowhere. Matter of fact, he lost a yard on the play. Well, you can have plays like that if you're the Southern University defense. That's what you're going to have to do.
Well, you look, they talk about complementary football. Now you need your defense to pick up your offense in this situation and see if you can, at worst, force Prairie View into a field goal situation and keep it a one-possession game.
2nd and long. Conley wrapped up at the 40-yard line. Second straight defensive big play.
And big number 9, Taj Brown. He's the other side of that dynamic duo with him and Kelby Givens. Taj Brown making his first impact play of the day, his 5th sack of the season.
Well, we have completed 3 here in Baton Rouge. It's the 4th quarter, and there you can see some of the players getting ready to go out towards midfield and share a couple memories. 24-21, Panthers on top. Start of quarter number 4, and it's been spirited here as we get ready for the final stanza in today's game. We saw both teams getting ready to go out there towards midfield and shake each other's hand and decided to retreat, and now they'll do it on the field. Offense for Prairie View facing 3rd and long. Conley out of some trouble. Conley gets to about the 28-yard line.
That's a great job by Conley. Needed 16, picked up 11. So you make it a more manageable field goal situation if Coach Bubba McDowell decides to go that route, or he could keep them on the field for 4th down and about 4th and 5, actually. And looks like Conley and the offense are going to remain on the field.
Boy, this Prairie View A&M team has come a long way. And you know, this was a team at one point in time, a program, you know, and I go back to the mid-90s.
Oh, wow.
You know, this is a team that didn't have scholarships.
Yes.
And now all of a sudden you see Prairie View year in and year out no matter what sport it is, they are contending for a conference crown.
Well, they have great facilities there, one of the best football stadiums in the conference, and, of course, the Baby Dome for basketball. So they have a lot going for them down there on 290 West in the just north of Houston.
I know they got some good barbecue up there. I'm just going to put that out there. They got some great barbecue out there. You know, look, if you listen to us long enough, you know that we love food and food loves us.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, my thighs rub.
And look, I reside about 20 minutes from the Prairie View campus, and the amount of barbecue between my house and the Prairie View campus is endless.
Man. Well, we're taking a look at the running game here. Ahmad Antoine for the Prairie View A&M Panthers. Pretty good day.
Yeah, you look at Antoine averaging nearly 5 yards per carry, 69 yards this afternoon, and he's been a key contributor on the ground. Prairie View, 138 yards on the ground here this afternoon, and looks like after some careful consideration, Bubba McDowell is going to bring on the field goal unit.
You know, Ahmad Antoine, of course, much better than 9 carries for 27 yards last week against Arkansas Pine Bluff. Here is the field goal. It is way off the mark. And so Southern dodges another bullet, second missed field goal of the ball game. And we're going to got to remember this now, because as Southern gets the ball back, they've missed one. They score here and go up by 4. Prairie View hits those 2 field goals. They're up by 2. So there's a lot of football left to play here, and you can really tell this is going to be one that goes down to the finish.
Yeah, Villa Gomez, his second miss of the afternoon, the sophomore out of George Ranch High School in Richmond, Texas, just south of Houston. So 2 big misses this afternoon for the young kicker, and that leaves the door ajar for the Jaguars as they take over at their 28.
And here comes the defensive pressure. Bodden will go deep, looking for an opening, incomplete. No flags on the play. Pass was intended for Cassius Allen.
That one just sailed out of bounds on Bodden.
Well, it'll be second down. And, you know, more importantly for Southern at least, you kind of save some time here.
It does stop the clock. A lot of time remaining.
Bodden this time will go deep down the other side of the field, incomplete. Well, he tried the left side, now going back to the right side, and Winfield could not get the ball.
Double coverage that time. You see Lewis, the safety, coming over to help. And I think he may have gotten a hand on it just enough to distract Whitfield. And so now, again, 3rd and long situation for this Jaguar offense. And they have struggled here mightily in the 3rd quarter.
And, you know, again, you haven't used much time off of the clock. Here is Bodden, and he is going down at the 25-yard line.
Is that Ray Jr. again, 91, putting on the heat? Derek Ray Jr., the senior transfer from Texas State. You see him coming from the backside, just getting the lower leg extremities of Bodden. Another sack, third sack of the afternoon for this Prairie View defense, and another 3 and out for Southern.
This time they will definitely punt the football. Goal here, if you're Southern, to flip the offense to or defense for offense. And Prairie View will get the ball at about the 34-yard line. We have a timeout on the field as Bird III returns the kick. 24-21, Prairie View out in front.
In the HBCU family, you become part of the tradition of breaking barriers in your community, breaking ground in your career, and bringing it with everything you do. From how you look to how you move in the classroom, on the court, and on the field. That's why Academy Sports and Outdoors is proud to celebrate the HBCU legacy and all those to add to it in their own way.
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
Doritos created Solid Black in 2021 to help fuel the initiatives of black leaders seeking to drive real change. And this year, Doritos Solid Black is welcoming 16 new change makers to the program. We are Solid Black.
Huge play coming up.
Talking about dropping the ball.
I got the score.
Tostitos Hardy Dippers.
In 1920, an athletic league was formed and slowly became one of the leading sports associations in the world of collegiate athletics, Southwestern Athletic Conference. Today, the SWAC is looking towards the next century, growing, supporting, and transforming our intercollegiate sports activities for student athletes and promoting academic excellence. Each SWAC member institution represents a high level of integrity and sportsmanship. We are the SWAC, building champions for life.
Prairie View by 3 here. First down and 10, they get the ball back. Conley will keep the football. He has been very deceptive today, and he gets about 8.
You know, and that's one of the hidden gems of being a good quarterback. As you look at the numbers in the third period, Southern with only 18 yards of total offense, Prairie View with 57. But the ball handling ability, almost like a point guard in basketball, is Conley with the handoff and the fakes, and when he decides to keep it.
Pass is complete. And picking up some big yardage there is wide receiver Brian Jenkins Jr.
Junior, his second reception of the afternoon. Again, just getting outside the numbers, cutting it back inside, staying in bounds, keeping that clock running as Prairie View tries to protect the 3-point lead. New set of downs for the Panthers.
And there you see a big defensive play. Well, Southern was in the backfield almost when the ball was handed off.
But again, it's Taj Brown getting into the backfield, 6'3", 230 pounds, transfer from Nicholls State. As he drops Antoine for a loss.
A second and long, that is not where Coach Bubba McDowell wants his offense. Is second and long, third and long. Pass complete to the tight end. Gets big yardage. And Prairie View has another first down.
And again, another great route combination. He had a man deep, and he also had the underneath route, and he saw a lot of green grass for his tight end. You see him start to the left, come back to the right, just releases in the flat, and no Jaguars in sight. And the big man rumbles downfield. Murray with a big gain and a big first down as Prairie View moves inside the 40.
Fresh set of downs for the Panthers. Antoine across the 40, and he sneaks his way across the 35 to about the 34, and another Southern Jaguar shaking up.
Gain of 3 seconds and 7.
And you see the training staff on the field for the Jaguars as the teams will go to their respective benches while they attend to the player real quick. Looks like he's going to be okay.
Prairie View so far this afternoon, 338 yards of total offense, and it looks like that's Derek Williams, who had the big fumble recovery in the first half to set up Southern's first score, as he will walk gingerly to the home sideline. Prairie View this afternoon, a very balanced attack, 157 yards on the ground, 184 through the air. Conley so far this afternoon at quarterback, 10 of 16, 184 yards, 1 touchdown. He's been sacked twice, but he's done a great job running the football as well, as he has 69 yards on the ground. We talked about his dual threat capability.
Again, the give to Antoine gets down to about the 27, 28-yard line.
Good, tough inside running that time by Antoine. And look, when you're running in between the tackles, you don't have time to jitterbug. You got to hit that hole and get north and south. And he did a great job that time, setting up a 3rd and short now for this Prairie View offense. And they're probably in 4-down territory. I'm not sure if they trust the field goal team anymore.
All kinds of movement. This is going to be a free play. Conley going up top. Conley with the throw and a big catch at the 1-yard line.
Savage?
That is Savage making a savage play. Take a look at this one again.
And again, they had the offsides, and you see the defender has his jersey as well. No penalty call for pass interference, but a great grab by Savage. They're going to mark it down, it looks like at around the 3.5-yard line. And the officials may take a look to see if he caught the football.
Yep, they are going to look at it in a further review. They're going to look at the replay here. I mean, there's no question it was pass interference. I mean, that was assault.
It was it was clearly holding. I mean, if he had a tearaway jersey, he would have ripped it in half. And the official, the back judge on the sideline, did not call the pass interference.
Let's take a look at this throw once again. But look, there you see the jersey. I mean,
good grief.
And then he caught the ball while he was doing that. Let's see, did it hit the ground? It was.
It may have.
Yeah, tough to tell. Tough to tell by that angle. That's a heck of a throw by Conley.
Of course, the pass interference is not reviewable.
There's a flag. You saw the flag to the right.
Yeah, that was for the offside, and I think the ball hit the ground.
Is there enough to overturn that, though? That's a tough one.
Good job by Cameron. I don't know how the official missed that grab. Football.
Did the point hit his hand or the ground? That's the key there.
Make a good point.
See, the way it looks, especially as he's falling down, it would look like that the ball hit the ground, but did it hit his hand that was on the ground? That's the question. So they are reviewing this. We are under 10 minutes to go in this ball game, and if this does stand and Prairie View has the ball inside the 5-yard line, this could be extremely detrimental for Southern. There you see a little bit of juggle.
And they spotted the ball at the 4. That should be around the 2.
That's a tough call.
It's a lot to unravel there. A lot to unravel.
Well, they are still reviewing it to see if Savage has put Prairie View in place to get first down and goal at the 2, maybe the 4-yard line. Savage is telling the head linesman that that's a catch. He is politicking.
If it is incomplete, you still have the offsides in your back pocket, so you'll get the free 5 yards. One more look at it, see if we can see from here, frame by frame. It's just too tough.
I don't think there's enough conclusive evidence to overturn it. I think that's the biggest thing.
Big call in this game, for sure.
And the Southern fans are definitely looking on attentively to see if this is going to be a big-time catch or if it'll be incomplete and it'll just be an offsides penalty.
After further review, we do not have a catch.
They rule it incomplete. So they keep that offsides penalty in their back pocket. So it'll be first down for Prairie View. But Savage thought he caught the ball, but unfortunately the replay officials did not see the same thing.
And pass interference is the big thing that was missed on that play.
Oh,
brutal.
Assault.
Will be a first down for Prairie View after the offsides is enforced. So the good news for Prairie View out of all of this is they'll have a new set of downs and they'll have an opportunity to eat up more of this fourth quarter clock.
And the clock runs now with just over 9 minutes remaining. Conley keeps the ball, and he is wrapped up at about the 28-27 yard line. And guess who's coming to dinner? Derek Williams, who was out of the game briefly, comes in and makes a big tackle. So second down here for Prairie View, and they are not going to be in any hurry. Even though they lost a couple of yards there on first down, they are not in any hurry right now. And you look at a lot of their sustaining drives, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. That really makes a difference on that clock.
But especially if they can come out with a touchdown here. Now, if you end up with a field goal, you put yourself in a precarious situation because you only have a 6-point lead and you can lose it late.
Conley escapes pressure, spins into the defender, and he's down at the 22-yard line.
Going to be a third and long situation now here for Prairie View. They're 3 of 9 so far this afternoon on third down. And again, depending on the confidence level, you may be looking at a 4-down situation once again for the Panthers if they don't pick it up here.
And nothing doing. Boy, that Southern defense all over Antoine. And it is going to be fourth down for Prairie View A&M. What a big tackle made by Horatio Johnson, the defensive back.
Good job by Johnson. You see the inside penetration forcing Antoine to try to bounce it outside, and there was nothing doing. And looks like Prairie View is going to bring on the field goal team once again. See if the third time is the charm.
Well, this one is going to be from 40.
Looks like it's going to be a different field goal kicker. Or is it? Nope, no. Same guy.
Field goal try is up. This one is good. 27-21. Prairie View puts a 3 up on the board. Under 7 remaining in this ball game. We've got a good one here in Baton Rouge. Swag Football on ESPN is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the official sporting goods and outdoor retailer of the Swag. By the Home Depot, proud sponsor of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. And by Nike. (27-21) our score. Prairie View will kick off, and Southern, they need to get into the end zone here in these last 7 minutes of the game. Here is the return, and it comes back to about the 30-yard line, and that will be where Southern will take over first down and 10. I want to thank Eddie Kelly. He is the director of SWAC officials for the Southwestern Athletic Conference for football, and he said that what the replay was looking at is how the ball went down. He said it did bounce and hit the ground.
Yeah, it looked like it did. It was kind of hard to tell from our vantage point, but just the geometry of it would say that it hit the ground. As you look at that scoring drive by Prairie View, exactly what they wanted to do. 11 plays, took over 6 minutes off the clock. But having to settle for the field goal opens the door for Southern. Only trailing by 6, they can go down and get a game-leading touchdown.
And Blood is hit and taken down. So that's the second really long drive for Prairie View that's been over 6 minutes. They had one that was over 7 minutes that led to a field goal earlier on.
And, of course, this was a 21-17 ball game, Southern at halftime. Neither team has scored a touchdown here in the second half. Only 2 field goals by Prairie View. Southern has been shut out so far, but they still have an opportunity to go down and get a backdoor win if they can pick up a few first downs and get in the scoring range.
Blood will step up. He's got some room. Across the 30, he's hit. And he goes down at about the 35-yard line.
It's going to be 3rd and short now for Southern. They need the 37 to keep this drive alive. They're going to mark it at the 36. So 3rd down and 1. You would think it would be 4-down territory. 2 timeouts remaining for the Jaguars. Only 1 for Prairie View. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, they had to take 2 timeouts early on in the third quarter, and this one goes nowhere. That play was completely blown up at the line of scrimmage.
Well, it looks like it was a little miscommunication between Blood and Rhymes in the backfield. Wasn't a clean handoff, and you talk about an impact player today. You see the inside penetration, and look at Ray Jr. all over Kendrick Rhymes, and that kid has had an outstanding afternoon this afternoon.
And there's an injured player on the field, or is it timeout? Timeout. Well, it's 4th down and 5, and like you said, this is 4-down territory. And you see the coaches from Southern, they've got the kind of the green fatigue sweatshirts. Coach Dooley with the camouflage vest jacket.
Yeah, this is a huge decision here for Coach Dooley because, look, it's still over 5 minutes to go in this ball game. There's plenty of time if you decide to punt the football away.
Well, and that's exactly what they're going to do because, look, the good news is, like you said, you got 4 or 5 minutes. Your defense has been playing well.
You got 2 timeouts.
2 timeouts.
Just got to play defense. You don't want to give Prairie View the ball here inside your own 40-yard line.
Kick is away. And it comes down to Brian Jenkins Jr. inside the 10. Spins out of a little trouble and gets taken down at about the 20 or 21-yard line. 27-21 is our score as pleasantries continue to be shared. These teams missed each other. Timeout. We'll be right back. Well, you can see the mist is coming down here in Baton Rouge. 27-21 is the score. That could have an impact on the game, especially the surface. And while the precipitation isn't major, there is some nonetheless.
Yeah, absolutely. So you got to worry about ball security at this point, and special teams kicking the football in case it comes down to that. Big defensive stop by the Jaguars. Givens getting in to make the stop.
Kelby Givens, he's a 6'2 sophomore from Baton Rouge.
Southern.
Shreveport.
Yeah, they need a 3 and out here. Try to get the football back for their offense. Prairie View, a precarious 6-point lead.
I think you said the right word, precarious. Well, it's 2nd down and 12 now, and of course Prairie View is not going to be in a hurry right now because they have a 6-point lead and the clock on their side. But now we're under 4.5, and the play clock is winding down. And look at Conley, trips.
Oh.
Boy, that's a big trip, and let's see where they call him down at.
The old turf monster got Conley that time. He had a huge running lane, could have likely picked up the first down. But you mentioned the precipitation, maybe the ground's a little wet now. And he just lost his footing there going across the 20-yard line, falls forward to the 24. But now it's 3rd down and 6. Big play here for Prairie View. Biggest offensive play of the game so far for the Panthers.
Southern's defense digging in here on 3rd down. Here's the give across the 25, and that's just about all up to the 26-yard line. And on the carry for Prairie View A&M University is Jamarius Brooks.
So Coach Bubba McDowell playing it very close to the vest. Very conservative play calling on that drive. 3 consecutive running plays. He's going to lean on his defense to try to close this one out.
And you know, if you're Southern right now, you got to feel good. You just don't want to do anything that could hurt you. Don't drop the ball on the return. Don't fumble it. You know, it is a little bit more wet outside right now, so you know the propensity of dropping the football increases. Here's a kick. And the return man is pushed back about 10 yards.
Oh, no. Whitfield going in the wrong direction.
Whitfield lost about 10 yards on that play. First down for Southern. That's the good news. But they start way back to where they really wanted to. 27-21 back after this. Well, Southern's going to have to go 85 yards to pay dirt. They got to have 6. They can't just get a field goal here. And remember, they missed a field goal earlier in the ball game, which would have made this 27-24, and a field goal would tie it.
Yeah, both teams have struggled with the field goals today, but field goals are out of the window now. It's going to take a touchdown for Southern.
Blood back to pass, looking, finds the receiver, gets it to Jalen Howard. They say he went out of bounds with 2:42 left.
Southern, they'll try to work the sidelines. They still have one timeout remaining.
And here is Blood back to pass, looking, and nothing doing. Boy, just when you think that they're trying to move forward, they get negative possession.
Trayvon Green making a huge stop on Kendrick Grimes, and it's going to be 3rd and long right now for Southern. And
this might be the ball game.
They said it was inbound, so the clock continues to run.
Blood back to pass. Blood looking downfield, going for it all, incomplete.
What a defensive play at the last moment, breaking up that football. The free safety, Tariq Moore, the junior out of New Orleans.
Look at this pass by Blood trying to reach Washington and hit right off of his fingertips.
Oh, man. So close. And now it's going to be 4th down for the Jaguars. They were in this exact position against Texas Southern 2 weeks ago. They had a 4th down deep on their own end. Harold Blunt was able to run for a 1st down. Let's see what they dial up here.
4th down and 7. This is the ball game for Southern. Blood looking. Blood incomplete. Prairie View takes over on downs. A tremendous defensive stand, and there you see head coach Bubba McDowell giving a high five to his players coming off the field.
Warren Schenkel, 44, broke up the pass play. And again, it's not over. Still have 1:46 to go. But it looks like Prairie View is going to come into Baton Rouge and escape with a victory and keep their SWAC championship hopes alive. They just need to protect the football for another 1:46 seconds.
Southern still has one timeout that they can use. And you can see here that Conley is going into victory formation. .143 remaining, and boy, you see some of the Southern players extremely frustrated. Our Gatorade player of the game is that man right there, and that is going to be Conley. Trayvon Conley really had a big game.
Yeah, over 200 yards of total offense. Got the offensive show going early in this one. The 55-yard touchdown strike to Savage. 10 of 16, 184 yards on the ball game. And he had another 80 yards on the ground, did Conley. Outstanding effort by the redshirt senior.
And another knee here for Prairie View. We're under a minute now. Boy, and tell you what, there's a timeout on the field.
I think Southern's going to use their final timeout. What a huge win for the Panthers going on the road. And now they'll sit back and watch tomorrow afternoon to see if their rivals can help them out a little bit as TSU takes on Alcorn.
They put some time back on the clock. There's now 53 seconds left on the clock. So, and this is going to be 3rd down, so there's still time there, although little. Southern could get the ball back if Prairie View doesn't score or get a 1st down.
Prairie View may actually have to. I was kind of surprised that they were taking a knee with one timeout left for Southern because they're still going to need to run a play. I mean, there may be under 5 seconds left if Southern gets the football back, but we'll see how it plays out here.
snap the ball. No more timeouts for Southern, by the way. And they just push the pile forward.
And that'll eat up precious seconds.
And, of course, Conley just holds on to the football because they were trying to go after it. And for the Prairie View Panthers, they're going to escape Baton Rouge with a huge win. You see some of the Southern players just right now just a little disgusted by what could have been. And now the official stops the clock. And they're telling the Southern players as well as the Prairie View players to make sure that they go to the sidelines.
The game clock for 47 seconds. Play clock operator, please reset the play clock for 40 seconds.
They're going to reset the play clock.
Reset the game clock to 47.
It should have been the play clock. I thought it's what the official said. And Conley is just kind of holding his hands up. He doesn't quite understand either. And now they wind the clock. Well, they can wind this one down all the way to get a delayed game penalty.
And then they'll have to decide what to do on fourth down if they want to risk a field goal and the potential of getting it blocked.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Or you just want to go ahead and run another play and let Southern have a few seconds to see if they can go 80 some odd yards.
Conley has not knelt down yet. He does with 2 seconds remaining.
Clock ran out, but there should still be time on the clock, I would assume.
2 seconds. Unless the official said that's the ball game.
Is that it? Robert McDowell and his staff were on the field. The officials, the clock shows 3 seconds now, and now he's trying to get his team off the field. Still one more play left. Now this is going to be chaos to try to clear the field.
Yep. So 1 play left for Southern.
I mean, if you're the Jaguars, you need to get on your sideline and get a play together.
Well, it is delaying the inevitable or a miracle, one or the other. And they're still trying to get all the players.
I'm not sure why all these people are on the field. There's a lot of security on the field, but there's still 3 seconds to go in the ball game.
Still 3 seconds left.
There are 3 seconds remaining in the game.
Which is the right call. There's still time remaining. You got some of the media on the field.
Not understanding.
Well, Southern's offense needs to come out for 1 play.
They're huddling up. Now, where did the official spot the football? It looks like it's at around the 18-yard line. So it's going to be one of those flea flicker type plays where you throw it back and forth all around the yard.
Either that or you just heave it down the field and they say, just go get it. So Southern comes out for 1 more play, 3 seconds remaining. The ball is at the 18-yard line. Southern doesn't have any more timeouts. And so again, it's the inevitable or the miracle. Next week for Prairie View, they will be at home to wrap up the regular season against Alabama State. 2 p.m. ball game.
Coach Eddie Robinson Jr., he has the Hornets playing very well the second half of the season, so that will not be a cakewalk Prairie View in this position last year lost at home to Mississippi Valley.
Yes.
With a chance to go to the SWAC championship game. So, all right, timeout is over. And teams will come back on the field for this final play.
One play to decide it. If you're Southern, you're hoping for a miracle. If you're Prairie View, you just want to knock everything down and don't create any penalties. Because the game does keep going on a defensive penalty.
Absolutely.
Blood. He will just heave it down the field. Blood going deep, looking for a receiver. It is caught. Caught at the 30-yard line by Jalen Howard, but too little, too late. And Prairie View A&M wins this ball game 27-21. Wow.
Great defensive effort by Prairie View in the second half, shutting out Southern, who put up 21 points in the first half, none in the second half. Prairie View got a couple of field goals to take the lead, held on for good measure, and now they will await to see what Alcorn State does tomorrow afternoon against Texas Southern. But nevertheless, they will still be in the hunt next weekend no matter what happens tomorrow. They just need Alcorn to lose once, tomorrow or next week. Huge win for Coach Bubba McDowell.
And for the Southern Jaguars, they get a week off, and then it's the Bayou Classic in New Orleans. So for Ken Moore, I'm Santoria Black saying so long from Baton Rouge, where the final score is Prairie View A&M 27 and Southern University 21. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.